Happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome to episode 70 of This Week in Geek. My name is Red Geekness, and as you can see, Zach Pope is not joining me today. He is currently, or should be soonish, at his screening for Migration, which I hope it sucks, so he regrets not making the show today. But while I'm not joined by Zach, I am joined by two very fine gentlemen you know very well, gentlemen who have co-hosted and participated in the show before. First and foremost, from the future and from the land down under, because he's 13 hours ahead, it is Patrick Burrow with his Baby Yoda beanie that looks exactly like the one my nephew has. How are you doing today, Patrick?
I'm doing really well. I'm tired, as I was saying just before the show, but I'm glad as always to be here. Always excited to talk movies and everything with you and everyone else that I join on the show with you. It's always a fun time. I'm excited.
Yes, I'm very excited you're here. I'm very excited. I'm always excited to talk to someone from the future, as you know.
I mean,
And
I
from
am the
my dream
doctor.
destination. You are the doctor. Well, we'll
I
talk
am the
about that
doctor.
soon enough because I'm going to list it on my weekly ranking.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, this gentleman is not available to do the show often enough. I love having him on the show. He's one of my good brothers. Leo Rydell from Geekly Goods is here. How are you doing today, Leo?
What's going on, man? I'm doing good. Just getting up, so doing well. Ready to talk some geek. And Patrick was stuck in he was stuck in a frame with him holding the beanie. It was hilarious. You there, Pat?
Hello.
We and we have everyone from a different time zone here. I'm in the afternoon. Leo's in the morning. Patrick's in the far into the evening. You should be out clubbing right now, like I did last week. But
No, I'm gonna be.
anyway,
You know what? I'm gonna be drinking actually.
very well, very well. Pre-game. I'll metaphorically pre-game with you as I have a birthday party tonight. Anyway, in case you're new to the show, thank you so much for joining us. However, you're joining us, whether right now live on YouTube, whether you're catching the replay on Spotify. In case you're new to the show, there's basically 3 segments on every episode of This Week in Geek. The first segment is when me, in this case, Patrick, Leo, we go through everything we watched past week and rank it from the worst to the best. And of course, I'll start it off. And then we go into our main topic. That's the main point of discussion where you see it on the thumbnail, you see it on the title, and then my personal favorite part of the show where we go into your questions that you leave on the community tab where you see a post with the thumbnail for this video. But if you want to guarantee your question is answered and is answered, if not immediately, as soon as possible, you can use the tip link in the description or the super chat feature because it supports the show. It puts us more out there. So with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into our weekly rankings. And I've mostly been doing rewatches. I'm actually going to surprise Leo with something on my weekly ranking because it's something I started from the beginning that I gave up a long time ago. I gave up on a long time ago, and then in this past week, from like last Friday to this Tuesday, I watched the entire series. In last place, and this is going to be unpopular, even though it's in last place, for everyone who loves it, everyone who hates it, Uncharted is fine. Uncharted is very fine. It's a very inoffensive movie, for better or worse. I put it on because I was watching with my parents. It's the kind of movie my parents like, so I was putting it on more for them while I was watching something else. And I saw it in the background. It's still very fine. I don't think it's properly good. I don't think it's properly terrible. Let's hope the second one is better. On top of that, I'm going to have. Oh, and Leo just went out. He'll be back. He'll be back. Probably some internet troubles, and I can
He
very
probably
much
just
relate to
DC'd.
that. He probably was offended. I didn't say Ancharo was shit. He's back. He's back. See?
Leo, you
He's
back? You
back.
DC'd?
For a
He's
second,
decent.
for a quick second, like Patrick was like a black square. It was just like black. I'm like, okay. It's
I'm that Spider-Man glitch from the recent Spider-Man game, just a white cube swinging through the city.
Yeah, like,
Lights went out all over Australia just then. On top of Uncharted, I'm going to have Patrick, don't hate me, the Doctor Who 60th anniversary special, part 3, The Giggle. Lots to like in the first 2/3, and then I have a lot of issues with how that resolution came
Is
about.
it the is it what I think it is? The new
I'm
thing
not a
with the
fan.
Doctor,
I'm not a fan of the bi-generation. I'm not a fan
okay.
of how the 14th just sticks around. I wasn't overall a fan of how 14th is essentially played the exact same as the 10th. Like from David Tennant, there wasn't too much. He knew more things than 10 because he went through all those experiences, but I didn't feel in the characterization, in the
Well,
performance,
how old
those
is the Doctor at this point?
he's got to be over
He's a
1,000.
they've thrown numbers like billion out there.
Yeah, because he goes on adventures through time that we never
Yeah,
see on
because
episodes.
there
Like
was
Matt
like
Smith was 900. So
What
Matt Smith
number
was
Doctor was
900.
what's that?
What number Doctor
Nishudigatwa
was
is the 15th.
Yeah.
Nishudigatwa was 15.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm really excited to see him and Ruby Sunday on Christmas. Finally,
I'm terribly. I love the characterization of Trudy Gatwa. I just don't like that like two doctors exist. Like
Yeah.
even the whole thing of how Russell T Davies explained it is like that goes against the whole thing of what is of who is Doctor Who like as a show, as a character. So I just wasn't too much into that. On top of that, I'm going to have the entire show, and this is the one that's going to surprise Leo, of Attack on Titan. Restarted last week from the get-go, which back when it came out, I was watching it weekly, and then season 1 finished, I was like, not into this anymore. I don't want any more of this, which thank God, because they took 4 years to come out of the second season. But now I watched the entire show. For the most part, it's really good. Animation, action, characterization. There's a deep mythology to it, a powerful allegory to that kind of seems fitting that I would watch it right now with everything going on in the world because it's an allegory for anti-Semitism, World War II, the prejudice against the Jewish community, even the iconography of the entire show. It's like you can't unsee it. But I have a lot of problems with the whole resolution of the show as well. And number one, like I said, I've been doing a ton of rewatches, and I watched this not yesterday because yesterday I went out. So the day before, I was like, I haven't watched this in a while. I know my parents will really like it. Bullet Train is a banger of a film. The soundtrack.
I actually watched
the
that for the first
action.
time the other week. I finally watched it for the
It's
first time the other
so
week with my
much fun.
partner.
What did you think?
It's so I loved every second of it. She hates
Yes.
that movie, and when I finished the movie, I've just turned to her and go, "How can you hate this? Like seriously, this movie's a fucking wild ride." Because we went away for the weekend for my birthday, and literally her and I just watched it while I was recovering from eating the world's spiciest gummy bear, and I'm like, you know what? I feel a million times better after that. Now she was in pain and I was happy.
Fair enough. It balanced itself out.
Exactly.
I think it has such an energy to it. It feels if Tarantino wasn't doing movies anymore, this is the closest we'd get to a Tarantino-esque film without actually being Tarantino. I just have a ton of fun with this film. I think it literally flies by like a bullet train. So yeah, fully recommended if you still haven't seen Bullet Train. Patrick, what do you got?
Okay, so I liked everything I watched this week. I loved everything I watched this week, as a matter of fact. But I went on a little bit of a binge for a very particular TV show. Ren, you know exactly which one I'm talking about. But starting off, number 5, because season 2 came out this week, and I do need to start it. I finally finished watching Reacher. Reacher is a damn good Prime TV show where I can't remember the actor's name, but
Alan Ritchson.
Alan Ritchson, he is the perfect Jack Reacher, in my opinion. And I love the mystery that this show provides. It's high octane, it's fun, it's got a beautiful like love relationship during there in a way that isn't in your face, but feels like they have proper chemistry that doesn't undermine this mystery, this narrative, this investigation that's going on. And I love how he just will go by his own rules, won't listen to law enforcement, but he does it to get the job done. So in reality, they can't fault him for it, which provides a really fun dynamic between the small town's, police force to him as well. I just think Reach is a really fun show, and I'm really excited to check out season 2. Number 4, look, it's lower because everything else above it is so good, but Doctor Who, the 60th anniversary specials, being the Star Beast, Wild Blue Yonder, and The Giggle. I actually disagree.
All of them are number 4.
Yes.
Cool.
Because I regard it as one 60th special.
Yeah.
It's just a 3-episode miniseries, in my opinion. And I love everything about the 60th anniversary special, aside from a few things here and there. For one, Sir Isaac Newton at the beginning of Wild Blue Yonder feels largely just beyond inconsequential and like it amounted to nothing. It just felt like, fuck, what do we do for a cold open? That's it. Like, what do we do? And the running joke of Mavity the entire episode. But if I was to rank it, actually, the episodes got better as the 60th anniversary special went on. So the Star Beast is my least favorite. Wild Blue Yonder is my second, and the Giggle is my favorite. I think the Giggle does a lot of things really well, and I love Neil Patrick Harris as the toy maker.
He's amazing.
He is absolutely marvelous as the toy maker, and seeing the toy maker return for the first time since 1966. Going into this episode, I had no idea he was even the toy maker. So when I heard that name, I've just gone, because like I was introduced with old Who before I watched the new Who back in the day. And I love the toy maker and bringing him back so long. He's not done, but that hand with the gold tooth and everything where the master was apparently trapped gives me a lot of hope for what Ncuti Gatwa's, Ncuti, how do you say his first name? Ncuti? Ncuti Gatwa, like, I can't wait to see if we get a version of Missy or the Master in his iteration of the Doctor. I think the idea of bi-generation is very fascinating because what the 60th anniversary special does so well is further explores rules of Time Lords in regards to binary and non-binary. I saw all this fucking hate online on Twitter and everything about having a trans character. The moment I watched the episode, I'm like, you do understand the reason why she is trans, right? It's a whole thing regarding the Time Lord energy. Donna Noble, like, absorbing Time Lord energy, being part human, part Time Lord now. But those memories compressed and then passing that on. But while the Doctor and Donna are binary, she is non-binary, which make one. Like, there is a reason that is, one, like, politically, relevant for the time, but also really fascinating for Doctor Who lore for Time Lords. I
thought the line itself was very obtuse, like it's so like that's the explanation. Okay, like in that sense, in the sense of the commentary, but in the sense of the lore, the mythology. I liked it. Honestly, I didn't even know Yasmin Finney was transgender until like that line. I'm like, oh, the character is transgender, and then the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, so did they cast an actual transgender actor? And apparently they did. So cool. I just didn't like the line itself.
Yeah, there are a few lines in there that feel a little bit like it's
could have nuanced that a little bit better.
But at the same time, like, I think the episode does a good job with it. I think Wild Blue Yonder is a great episode. It actually reminded me of an episode from season 5 season 6 called Flesh and Blood, the episode with the living flesh. And I'm like, is the flesh returning? That entire alien thing that was a living organism that we saw that was a massive part before the episode A Good Man Goes to War. But it wasn't. It was completely new. But this is like the first time we see the Doctor, or the Doctor Donna, as a matter of fact, travel to the edge of the universe outside of Utopia in season 3. Which wasn't really, it was like on the brink of the edge, but this is outside the edge of the universe. That has been destroyed, and a very fascinating, a very tense episode all the way through that was really creepy. It was like a horror movie.
Yeah, it was like Thing meets Alien.
Yeah, it was really cool. And the Giggle, man, it is my favorite episode. Neil Patrick Harris is over the top cartoony as the toy maker should be, with that really over the top German accent. But the concept
as well.
Yeah.
The giddiness with which he like murders and destroys and all that. And
what if I have won? What shall be my prize?
Exactly. Like, and even how they didn't shy away from the actual real terribleness of him being outright racist to the guy that comes in. Like, oh, you're accustomed to a more tropical environment. It's like, okay. Jesus.
Yeah, the toy maker is quite the despicable character, but he literally does it for an endless game. Without the game, he is nothing. And that's a fascinating thing. And the Doctor says, we can play games to the end of the universe. He gives them that opportunity. I love the idea of bi-generation personally because it, one, gives a satisfying ending for the Doctor we have known since 1963. He has been through so much, and it gives us a Doctor that remembers everything but isn't that Doctor. And as the Doctor
Has gone
said,
through therapy.
has gone through therapy essentially. He no longer is mentally tormented by the flux. All those that died before, being Bill Potts, what is it, Sarah Jane, and I loved having what is his name? From season the fifth Doctor, the one that blew up the ship to save everyone else.
Oh yeah, I know exactly who you mean.
I
I'm forgetting
loved
the
his
name, but I know
name
exactly
drop.
who you mean.
I loved
Yeah.
his name drop in there. I'm like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. Why?
Patrick.
Adric, thank you very much. I'm like, I haven't heard Adric's name as a companion for years. And them throwing his name in there really, really hit me in the heartstrings because he was even there when Tom Baker's Doctor regenerated. Adric's been around, was around with Tom Baker, and then they die in such a way. Bill Potts as well, getting turned into a Cyberman, one of the most tragic fates of any companion. I loved everything about the 60th anniversary special, and seeing this version of the Doctor get his happy ending. Well, their happy ending, I should say, because the Doctor doesn't have any, set gender. He doesn't have any gender. They don't have any gender, I should say. But yeah, I love the 60th anniversary. Number 3, Kimi no Nawa. I rewatched.
How's that a number 3?
I think Kimi no Nawa is one of the most beautiful films ever. And I say film, not anime film or animation.
No, film.
It's just a film. And it is beautiful. That 45-minute mark always tears my heart apart when you realize what has happened, what is really going on. And then that journey.
What's the English name for that movie?
Your Name.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay, Your Name is.
I
Love
love Your Name.
Like you say it's one of the greatest films. To me, it's tied with another movie, but it's like the greatest romance in a film I've ever seen. For me.
Yeah,
it's
incredible.
And them at the end finding each other, man. Oh,
God, the Twilight scene at the top of the mountain always gives me fucking chills. And
with Sparkles playing.
Yeah, where he chooses. I don't want to tell you my name because I don't matter. I just want you to save yourself. So he just puts in "I love you," and how
did that not get nominated for an Oscar? Like, dude, that's just the stupidest.
It should have won that year. It should have won. Like,
should have.
100%. 100%.
Kimi no Nawa is perfect. It's perfect. It's a perfect fucking film. Like, it honestly, if I had watched this week, Kimi no Nawa would have been barely above I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, which is another beautiful.
That took a turn.
No, but I'm saying, like, if I'd watched that, like, those two films are two of my favorite romances in any movie ever. A movie where two different time streams wanting to say I love you and save another, to a movie where it's a love story about someone who literally is a ticking time bomb thanks to pancreatic fucking cancer.
Okay.
Have you never seen I Want to Eat Your Pancreas?
I don't think I ever heard of it. So when you said it, I just took it literally, and I'm like,
check it out. Another beautiful anime movie. Another beautiful anime movie, which title...
it's anime. Oh, okay.
It's anime, yeah. It's from the same people, I think, who did Kimi no Nawa.
Oh.
Okay.
Same director?
2018.
I believe.
Okay. Yeah, because Shinkai has like a big library of movies, but beyond just like his big 3 of Your Name, Weathering with You, and recently.
No, it's not Makoto. It's not Makoto Shinkai.
Okay. So
I don't think so.
It is Shinichiro Ushijima. Shinichiro Ushijima. I apologize.
Shinichiro. Okay. I'm off then. But I think it's the same animation studio that did Your Name, at least.
Probably the same studio, the overall the same animators, director, all that.
It's the same animation team, at least. Mm-hmm. Next up, Ren's going to hate me for this, that it's not number 1, especially when there's another Doctor Who thing above it. Doctor Who Season 5 to Season 7 are at number 2 for me.
I'm curious
Matt Smith's
what's
run.
coming on top. Yeah, I know.
Season 6 is one of the best seasons as a whole of Doctor Who, in my opinion. Everything with the silence and the wife of the Doctor being the TARDIS. And Dude, that's an underrated episode in my opinion.
an
A good man
underrated
goes to
episode,
war. Let's kill.
Do you know who
Hitler
wrote it?
Is it
My
Moffat?
favorite author of all time, Neil Gaiman.
Did Neil Gaiman write A Good Man Goes to War?
He only ever wrote 2 episodes of Doctor Who. One of them was the Doctor's Wife, and the other might be When a Good Man Goes to War, but I'm not sure. But he only ever wrote 2, which is insane.
Yeah, and I love that the season literally opens up with and ends with the Doctor's death. The entire episode of Let's Kill Hitler, and that's how he finds out about his death date, which, by the way, what the fuck title.
Yeah.
I remember watching that when it aired on TV, and it's like, the Doctor will be back soon in Let's Kill Hitler. And I'm like, sorry? The episode, however, has barely anything to do with Hitler. It literally has one appearance from him and one single line with the title name. It's all about River Song, essentially, and River Song becoming River Song. And it's a very beautiful episode, while very tragic at the same time. How River Song got the book, that would essentially be what contains the memories of her and the Doctor and their adventures in marriage. Everything about season 6 is just great. Season 5 as well is phenomenal, featuring my favorite Doctor
season
Who
of television.
I have my one issue with season 5 has to do with 2 of my favorite episodes of Doctor Who ever, with my favorite creatures being the Weeping Angels. I love the Weeping Angels, and I love those 2 episodes, but there's one thing that I don't like about the second episode of the Weeping Angels, and that is the fact that it's always been scary to us as the audience that we can't see them move. We are like them in the situation. Not seeing them move is a part of the terror. However, they do have a moment where we see them move, and it just reminds us they are actors and performers in costume and makeup. And it really ruins the immersion, in my opinion.
I don't feel that way, but fair. I can understand that point of view.
Yeah, because we as the audience are witnessing them as quantum locked as well. Season 7 is tragic, in my opinion. Just 6 episodes in, with the farewell to Melody Pond.
Shut up.
Not Melody, and Amy and Rory. Which, by the way, season 6, that episode with James Corden with the Cybermen.
Mm-hmm. Quite
the
good.
Episode before, really good episode. Best I think James Corden has ever done. It's Craig. But that one line in the episode beforehand where he's like, what's the alternative? Me standing over your grave, saying goodbye to you and Rory. And then that's exactly what fucking happens.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, man. Fuck the Angels Take Manhattan. Fuck that episode to death. And then everything goes
Great
down
episode.
after Clara's. Great episode. Then the entire season goes downhill after that when Clara is introduced. Not because it's terrible. I agree.
Not hard. It's not a hard.
It's not a hard
drop,
dip.
But it dips. It dips.
Yeah,
definitely.
Number 1, however, Doctor Who season 3, episode 11. Blink is the best episode of Doctor Who of all time.
Fine, I'll concede.
Blink is the best Doctor Who episode ever, and it barely features the Doctor and Martha.
Yeah.
It does what Love and Monsters in David Tennant's first season couldn't get right.
Exactly. Oh man,
Sally Sparrow should have become a companion.
I don't agree, because that way we probably don't have the Carey Mulligan we have today.
Yes, but the character was so well suited and had experienced a adventure with the Doctor without it exactly being with the Doctor. And the whole timey, wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey sort of thing thrown into it with the Weeping Angels. This was our introduction to the Weeping Angels, and it was horrifying. The way that episode is directed. Fucking, what's his name? Russell T. Davies writing in that episode. Marvelous. Yeah. One of the best episodes of television ever, and the best episode of Doctor Who ever.
All right, Leo, what do you got?
All right, so I was going to watch the new Netflix Yu Yu Hakusho, and I got lost in the original series, and I said, it's going to have to wait. So number 5 starts out with the original Yu Yu Hakusho, because Crunchyroll was saying, hey, you know what? Netflix got the new thing coming out, but we have all of our Yu Yu Hakusho episodes over here. Come on over. So I decided to take Crunchyroll's invitation. Went on over.
I'm waiting on you to watch the live action one for me to give it a chance because I never seen Yu Yu Hakusho because it wasn't.
I've heard
thing
the
here.
live
y'all
action's
seen
alright.
the Beat Bop and the One Piece?
Yes.
Live action?
I love. I'm the guy. I love Cowboy Bebop.
The
I'm-
live
I
action
loved
one?
One Piece.
Yeah,
I loved One Piece.
You loved One Piece? Yeah, One Piece, the live action was pretty solid. I really liked it a lot.
That
so
fight with Garp and Luffy at the end was so much fun.
Ooh. I ain't reached the end yet, but you know what? I've seen it in the anime, so it's fine. But I am currently making my way back through Yu Yu Hakusho, and yeah, the first like 10 or so episodes is just so good. When he first dies and he's doing the spirit detective stuff, I'm like, okay, it seems like maybe the live action is going to kind of skip and jog through some of that, so we'll see how they handle it, but really, really enjoying that so far. Number
Only
4.
6 episodes.
What's that?
The Yu Yu Hakusho Netflix is only 6 episodes that are like 30
It's
to 40
only
episodes
6?
long. Yeah.
Okay, that's
strange.
a little odd.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're gonna tell that story because I'm like,
It's a big story.
yeah, it looks like they like have pieces from the Spirit Detective arc, but then they're gonna just kind of really rush to the Demon Tournament. It looks like in the Netflix one, so we'll see, man. I don't know. I thought it looked a little odd in the trailers, but
Wikipedia says it's only 5 episodes.
what? That's so short. That's
But they
like
do-
weirdly
but they
short
do-
for Yu Yu Hakusho.
They do say it's 45 to 56 minutes long.
okay, that's still not really enough, but we'll see how that
Yeah.
shakes out. But original Yu Yu Hakusho is at number 5. Then number 4, I've been watching reruns of this while working. Only Murders in the Building. Really looking forward
Nice.
to that 4th season. I loved the show so much. Back to give y'all perspective, back in July, I got laid off, and the first thing I did was let's see what TV shows I need to catch up on. So I got through the first season of The Bear, really great season. But I was like, I'm stressed. Let me get a little break in. Let me get to something that's maybe a little less stressful. So I go on over to Only Murders in the Building because it's something a lot of people really enjoy. The show was really well talked about, really well held before I even started. So I was like, all right, let me check this out. Man, I blew through those 3 seasons so fast, y'all. It's not even just my internet crush on Selena Gomez. It's also Martin Short and Steve Martin are hilarious together. And the 3 of them are so good. The comedy is sharp. It's got great writing. And the mysteries and reveals are actually really great. I've got some issues with season 2's reveal, but the first and the third season especially have phenomenal reveals that I just did not see coming, with great motives in those seasons. I thought season 2, the reveal in that one was a little shaky at best, but it was still a really good season. But man, I've just been really enjoying it and honestly just kind of putting it on in the background while working. So it's been a really nice supplement to work. Then number 3, I rewatched this movie, the 2023 version of The Color Purple. I went and watched that one a couple of weeks ago with my mom for a screening, and we really liked it. Love the songs. I haven't seen the musical, so the addition to this with the songs in the film was really good. Fantasia was phenomenal. Danielle Brooks. I saw this movie, and I'm afraid for Divine Joy Randolph with the holdovers. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe she'll keep on to the supporting actress, but Danielle Brooks was so good in this. I'm not sure that she'll win that. So really like this one. The songs were phenomenal. Love how rooted in hope the original movie ends up becoming. So that's the same that this did. But the arc of characters in this one's a little different. There's more involvement with certain characters. Mister's like a lot meaner. So it takes some different liberties with this one that I think were really good. And it feels to me like it's a big callback to the original film, while also calling back to the musical and also having its own lane and carving out its own lane and all this. So really good film. Very great experience watching it in the theater. I think I'm looking at Aquaman 2 and I'm like, dude, you're by Wonka. You're by Color Purple. What is going on, WB? What is going on?
Like Wonka.
And it seems like they do not care about Aquaman. So we'll see what happens with that box office, because there might be a shakeup. But The
Yeah.
Color Purple, very, very
Mm.
phenomenal film. The songs are wonderful. The acting was great. Love how they updated some things, and it's just a wonderful film. Number 2, another rewatch. I've been rewatching a lot of Oscar movies, got a vote in awards, so I've been doing a lot of that rewatching. The Boy and the Heron. Still have not got to
Oh,
see it
so
dubbed.
good.
I've saw it subbed twice, but The Boy and the Heron is phenomenal. I
Yeah.
loved this film. I think it serves not only as several different stories that tackles grief, but also is a little bit of a meta story on how Miyazaki is getting toward the end of his filmmaking career. That man's not done though. I feel like this ain't the end, but it feels almost like an end to his filmography. Wonderful film. I loved especially the second half when we got to explore different worlds with Mahito. Really, really good movie. I love these callbacks to the other Studio Ghibli movies, and it's just really, really beautifully done, in my opinion. And then number 1, a film I still have to kind of grapple with how I want to talk about it, but I loved it. Poor Things. That is in my top 3 of the year now. I absolutely fucking loved it. Emma Stone. Listen, if the statue ain't going to Emma Stone, I don't know. Because I loved her acting in this. Yorgos Lanthimos, direction phenomenal. Sets were just amazing.
Immaculate.
The CGI use in this movie, I was like, okay, it's like, listen, anybody who did a bad VFX job, I need you to go ahead and look at this and the creator. This is how to take some not a big budget and make a great set out of this.
Yeah.
But I mean, just the tale of liberation and what it does with that character and how it kind of feels like this kind of gothic, crazy, sex-driven Disney movie. I love it, man.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna go watch that probably again this weekend sometime for my third watch. Loved Poor Things, and can't wait to see how it does throughout award season. It's still popping up on lists currently, so it's doing all right.
Yeah, it's very much within mine as well. Such a great movie. I can't wait to watch it again. All right, with that out of the way, let's go into your guys' in the live chat, your weekly rankings. And we start off with Nathan Madigan. Number 6, Rustin, which I still have to watch. Number 5, May December, which is getting a very hilarious or ironic turnaround now that more people are seeing it.
Yeah,
Because when I watched it at the London Film Festival, everyone was like, "That was amazing! That was insane! That was one of the best movies of the year, best movie of the festival." I'm like, I really liked it. I don't see much below the surface, but. And now everyone was like, "This is terrible. What did they make this for?" Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I was alone on an island. I'm like in the middle, and the sharks are fighting. Number 4, 99 Homes, which I've never watched, but I know exactly what that movie is. Number 3, The Santa Claus. Number 2, Past Lives, which is one of Leo's favorite movies this
Phenomenal.
year.
Very good film.
Phenomenal.
And number 1, Shane, which is the Western that inspired Logan. So it's a very good movie to watch. Gigo EP, number 11, Family Switch with Jennifer Garner. I tried to watch this movie because I owe my life to Jennifer Garner, and I didn't make it past 30 minutes. Number 10, Candy Cane Lane with Eddie Murphy, which I also haven't seen. Number 9, May December, overrated. I don't know if it's overrated.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I call it Mad December.
Yeah, Mad December. Number 8, Wonka, which is very solid. Number 7, Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory. Number
That
6,
should be higher.
Charlie.
Okay,
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So that's a hot take. Number 5, The Boy and the Heron. Number 4, My Neighbor Totoro. Number 3, Princess Mononoke. Number 2, Godzilla -1, which I'm not jealous at all that I'm the only one who doesn't have the choice to see it. And number 1, Spirited Away, which I take umbrage with anything above Princess Mononoke, but fair enough.
Come to Australia and I'll take you to see Godzilla.
G. Kobe got Charlie and the Chocolate Factory over Willy Wonka?
That's my question.
Now.
Also, Willy Wonka should be up in that top 3 right here, in my opinion.
He does fully admit it's probably nostalgia, and he's fully aware it's a hot take, but he does like it, which fair enough. Dominican Scott, number 4, Super Sentai Z Ranger, which is the Super Sentai season that inspired the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Okay.
Number 3, Shazam, which I never would put above Zeo Ranger at all. Number 2, Batman
That's a good movie.
Returns, aka the most distractingly horny movie of all time. And number 1, The Dark Knight Rises, which is very much an underrated movie.
Mhm.
Come on, Ren. You got to admit it. The first Shazam is a great superhero movie for family. You got to admit it. I know you love that film.
Come on, Ren. Come on,
No.
Ren.
Come on, buddy.
No.
Come on,
No,
buddy.
I
Shazam.
watched the first time I
Shazam.
watched that film. I went with a group of friends on the day we graduated from our masters. We spent the day watching mine and everyone else's in the masters the short films for graduation, and they were like, "There's an early screening of Shazam, so let's go." I was super excited. I was the only one who didn't like that movie.
Oh, damn.
And you still are.
I still am.
Yep.
Yeah. Trevor Bristow, you don't want to get me started on Shazam 2. That's
Oh,
we'll all jump on that one.
Aha!
we'll all jump on that
Who's
one.
laughing now?
Ren. Me, because Shazam 1's still good.
Well, no, it's not. Trevor Bristow, number 6, Children of the Corn 2023. I have
Just
heard
why?
really terrible
what's that
things
one?
about this movie.
It's a juicy one.
It's just I'm guessing that's a joke on how about the blood looks like juice. But it's just
That and just the movie's a pile of juicy garbage.
also
So
that. Like the
Yeah.
trash bag is like leaking from the bottom.
Oh, so the trash that I throw in the bin at work. Cool. Because
Yeah,
caterers are lazy.
Number 5, A Good Person with Florence Pugh and Morgan Freeman. I actually went to the premiere of
Okay.
this. I sort of, technically, kind of met Florence Pugh. She is very petite. She is much more petite than she looks on screen. I'm not saying
She's
she
so
looks
hot.
bad on screen. Don't get me wrong.
She's
That's
so
not what I'm
hot.
saying at all. But like she is very petite. Number 4, The Boy and the Heron. Number 3, Godzilla -1. Number 2, Oppenheimer.
Nice.
And number 1, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, my
Ooh.
second favorite
only a
comedy
flesh
of
wound.
all time. So we are the knights who say me. I actually did
just a
watch
flesh
that
wound.
one this week as well. So that was probably my number 1 over Bullet Train. My dad had never seen it, and I'm like,
Holy
how
Grail?
have you never seen this? Yeah, he's never
Really?
seen any of the movies at
Oh,
all.
wow.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
play.
The
They're all on Netflix
the third one was a bit bizarre, but the first 2 are really good.
Which because I don't know what order they came out. Is the third one The Meaning of Life?
Yeah.
The meaning. It has some of the best jokes in there, I feel, but
It
is
does, but it's
bizarre. All
also
of
the
them are
most
bizarre.
off the rails one that feels
Yeah,
like it has
yeah,
an identity
It's
crisis.
like no structure, no plot, just sketches and
It's like
presented as a
movie 43 as if it was actually kind of entertaining.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
goodness.
hilarious. And hilarious.
Yes.
I'm gonna go through these
Um,
pythons.
Yeah. Tony Movie Chappie. Weekly ranking. Number 4, The Family Switch. Number 3, Ali, the director's cut. I've never seen this movie. I've seen clips. I know of it, but I've never seen. I didn't even know that
Is
was
that Will
director's
Smith
cut.
one, Ali? No.
I assume so. Yeah.
Is that
I don't
the
know
one?
of
I've
any
never
other
heard of
movie
Okay.
just called Ali.
Yeah, that 2001 Will Smith one.
Prepare, because Tony Movie Chappie got another hot take because number 2, it's Blue Eyed Samurai, and number 2, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, better than the original, he says.
Ow!
So here you go. Another hot take. You're not alone. Tony Movie Chappie and Jico EP are right now shaking hands metaphorically through the internet. Eric Thorpe Reviews, weekly ranking. Number 1, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Number 2, Hunger Games Catching Fire. Number 3, Rebel Moon, which I'm only watching next week on
Can't
Netflix.
see it.
Number 4, The Boy and the Heron. Number 5, Nimona, and number 6, Kiki's Delivery Service. I mean, apart from Rebel Moon, which I haven't
Nimona at
seen-
number 5. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That one a
Wait.
little low, ain't it?
Say what you gotta say, Patrick.
You know what? I'm going to go on a tangent. I'm not even going to bother at this point. I'm just going to.
I'll say this about Nimona being at number 5. I haven't seen Rebel Moon, so I'm like, that might be the only one I could say bump that out of the top 3 and put Nimona in there. But
I haven't seen Rebel Moon, but I'd put Kiki's Delivery Service above Nimona.
Nimona should be
I
number
really
1.
like Nimona. Ooh, that's another
Ooh.
hot take. We're
Okay,
full of hot takes
okay.
today.
Why it's
All
not
right,
nominated
everyone.
for Best
I wouldn't
Animated
have
Film at
Zack
the Golden
Snyder.
Globes, I have no fucking idea.
Well, because we have a question about the Golden Globes. I'll go on a rant when.
Oh,
we get
man.
to
Oh,
it.
great. Oh, great.
Oh,
Um,
man.
I'm hyped.
Get excited, everybody! All right.
Real quick though, the Golden Globes did do something right. They put Susan May in that animated lineup,
And
They did?
another thing they did right,
Yes.
Peaches is nominated for Best Original Song.
which
Well,
that
gotta look.
that deserves to be in the pack, leading the pack.
That
if you
deserves
ask
to fucking win, if you ask me. It's a joke song that was meant to be bad and turned out better than it should have because
me.
Jack
Way
White
better.
is awesome.
But then I'm just can't exist, so that should win. All right, everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's weekly rankings out of the way. Let's get to the topic at hand: the comic book movie landscape of 2024. Now, I was talking to Patrick before the show started. Several sites have one or two that are kind of different, but overall, we have 6 big comic book movies confirmed for
And they're
next
mostly-
year.
And they're mostly that
I-
Sonyverse.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily going off we're not going on release date order, but let's address the red and yellow and 90s inspired elephant in the room, Deadpool 3. Gentlemen, how excited are we for Deadpool 3, Leo?
Leakers need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's the leaking is getting out of control. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
This is
When
why our
Ryan Reynolds
movies
released
keep
that
looking like-
statement, part of me was like, okay, Deadpool was put on the map by a leak. But the other half of me is like, this is getting to be too much.
A
Like,
strategic
we're
leak
leaking
by Ryan
everything.
Reynolds.
Huh?
A strategic leak by Ryan Reynolds which is completely different.
Right. And this is getting to be too much. I mean, the leaks
Yeah.
are overwhelming. I feel like we're running into like another set photo every day of somebody else at the set. I'm like, okay.
Well, I'm
can
not
we
going to say
please
it in
roll
case
back?
I'm not going to say it just in case people in chat haven't seen it, but that one fight that was leaked in regards to the decapitated head, I'm like,
Yep.
I would have rathered fucking wait until watching the movie to
Oh,
be
yeah.
blown away by this character appearing. But
Mhm.
no, you just had to. This is why so many movies are now filmed on lots and in studios on nothing but fucking green screens because they're afraid of leaks. A good example, Doctor Who season 6, when it comes to the astronaut that kills the Doctor, they filmed the actual reveal of who that is on a green screen room to avoid fucking leaks rather than on location like what we see at the beginning of the season, because then you didn't need to see who it was. But the reveal of who it was in the suit, which, by the way, if you're paying attention to the season at all, you should have figured out by episode like 3.
I
But
didn't, because I'm dumb.
I did. But like at the same time, they did it for that reason. Filmmakers are so afraid of shooting these things on location for the sake of leaks. This is why shit keeps being filmed in nothing but lots and on stages on green screens. Because shit like this is going to get leaked. We're going to have another Spider-Man No Way Home situation, I feel, with Deadpool 3.
That was a nightmare, man. That Spider-Man No Way Home was a nightmare, bro. And Deadpool 3 is quickly catching up.
Yeah, I would love if Hugh Jackman goes on the promotional tour and just plays it as, I'm not in the movie. What are you talking about?
Right?
That would be
Deadpool,
so
I don't even know the
funny.
character.
I
I've never heard of
would-
Deadpool.
and then it turns out to just be Brad Pitt's Invisible Man from Deadpool 2 the entire time. He was just a stand-in.
Got
That
his
would be
quick little
fantastic.
3 frames on screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but Deadpool 3 looks awesome, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, just from what we've seen, it looks like it's gonna be a fun time.
Dog poo,
Reynolds and
dog
fucking
poo,
Jackman
dog poo.
together. I can't wait for that, man. Like,
Yeah.
they're dynamic. Can't wait.
Patrick, I'm assuming you're excited by just how excitingly you've expressed yourself this far.
Deadpool is my favorite Marvel character of all time. I loved Deadpool 1, was slightly underwhelmed, but still loved Deadpool 2. I have that many Deadpool shirts and pajama outfits. It's not even fucking funny. I remember rocking up to the midnight release of Deadpool 2 in Deadpool undies, Deadpool boxers, Deadpool, long johns, Deadpool long sleeve shirt, Deadpool jumper, Deadpool thongs, Deadpool socks, and a Deadpool beanie. I went Deadpool for the Deadpool midnight release with my mum, and she looked embarrassed to be there with me. I
Fair enough.
love Deadpool. I am going to do what I did for Zombieland Double Tap, and I am going to arrive at my screening with chimichangas in hand, just like I did with Twinkies to Zombieland Double Tap.
Nice. I think this is easily the comic book movie I'm most excited for next year. I think it looks fantastic. I think people
What? The one you're most come on over, Madam Web.
we'll get to that. Um,
Oh.
I think people are very much underestimating how good of a choice Sean Levy is to direct this film because the man has delivered a variety of bangers. He brings a very Spielbergian heart to all his
Mm,
films. Like the things that
Mm.
work best about his films are always the heart and the drama.
yeah.
Just look at the Adam
Mhm.
Project. If you take
Just
the
not the
sci-fi
comedy.
nostalgia,
If you look at full Free Guy.
Ah,
ah,
hey, I liked Free Guy,
really
man.
funny. I really like.
Yeah, I mess with that Free Guy.
But I wouldn't even say Free Guy. The comedy works if you just look at the entire Night at the Museum trilogy, particularly 1 and 3.
Mm.
2 is
Yeah, one
eh,
is great, man.
Really, I
1
really
is
like
great.
to.
I think it's the weakest. I still like it. When I watch
Mm.
all 3 of them, I watch all 3 of them. I don't skip 2,
Yeah.
but I think it's the one that definitely not on par with the other 2. And
Okay.
Hugh Jackman makes a cameo in number 3, so
Yeah, he
as
does.
Wolverine. Not as Wolverine, but
So
they play
good.
into it.
Not as Wolverine, but
Um,
as Wolverine.
yes, as the actor who plays Wolverine.
Yeah.
Um, I think this looks great. Like you both said, I wish we hadn't seen as much because we're not just seeing a lot, we're seeing a lot from the same exact set piece. And I bet you anything that's the climatic set piece. So it feels like we're watching the entire third act
Right.
of the film.
Right.
Yeah. So, but easily the one that looks the best, that feels like everyone's the most excited. We got a question later on the questions portion of the show about whether it hits $1 billion. So I'm going to reserve my answers for then, for when we go through that question.
I
So
got a quick
after that,
I
yeah,
got
yeah,
a quick prediction real quick. It would actually be hilarious if this snippet we're seeing was like toward the beginning and they just
yeah,
got it out of
Yeah.
the way and it was like, haha, like you thought
and
you
it's
got a lot
before
out of
he
the
it's before he gets whisked away to the TVA.
leaks. Period. There you go.
Yeah. All right. After Deadpool 3, Joker Folie à Deux, the sequel to 2019's polemic, controversial, quote unquote, kind of,
Yeah.
Joker film with Joaquin Phoenix. Lady Gaga is being brought in as Harley Quinn.
Eh.
I am not excited for this film whatsoever.
Eh.
I'm not a big fan of 2019's Joker. I find it well made, but an
But
incredibly
fine.
derivative film, where Joaquin Phoenix is the only thing I would say is great about it.
Mm.
The writing, it's one of those films where it feels, yeah, this is a fun idea, but the film to me never becomes anything beyond that. Yeah, this is a fun
Mm.
idea, and what does it offer? Not really much. I think the entire controversy, quote unquote, of that film was blown way out of proportion. I would watch that film like, what are we even discussing about this film?
Mm.
I'm not
Hey,
excited for
we
this
live in a society.
in a society, exactly.
In a
Um,
society.
Which is hilarious coming from the film that ends about 5 shots, 2 scenes too late. It should have ended with him on the top of the car doing
Yep.
this, cut to black. That's it. We don't need anything more, but they kept going. And and because I feel that way, this entire film, however long it may be, let's assume 2 hours, it's 2 hours of going on too long. Harley Quinn is my favorite female comic book character of all time, by far. I love Harley Quinn.
Is this your Margot bias?
It's not not at all. She was my favorite female comic book character of all time before.
Oh no,
that.
I'm talking about the Lady Gaga casting that you're about to go on.
I'm not a fan of the. I think it's one of those
Oh,
castings
man.
that feels
It's bad.
gimmicky. It's distracting, and also she's 1 and 1. She's great in The Star Is Born. She is terrible in House of Gucci. So I am not excited right now to see. Oh,
man.
she's playing Harley Quinn from the same creative team that gave me the most derivative, uninteresting, and unscary, unfrightening version of the Joker. To me, the Joker works because the mysticism of him is you don't know who he is, you don't know his
Mm.
origin. He always tells these lies, and you see in the original film in the 2019, oh, this is the Joker. That takes away from the mythos of the character. So
Mm.
right now, this movie I am very much neutral on. I'm not dissing on the film. I just don't see anything for me personally to be excited about. Leo, what do you think?
So I've watched the first Joker twice. I actually really like the movie. I do love the small callbacks and hints at, or actually, this film is very massively dedicated to a Martin Scorsese's filmography. I mean, you're just pulling out all
Really?
kind of stuff. Oh,
You can't tell at all.
nobody can tell. But let me give y'all a new discovery here. But I love those pieces of it. Loved Joaquin Phoenix. I do think it gets problematic in its messaging. I think the way it tackles mental health is a little problematic, but I did really like it. I thought it was a solid effort by DC. I want to see more villain movies that are not doing what the Sony Spider-Man universe are doing. Let these people be full villains.
That's
Let these people
perfect,
be full
Leo.
villains,
That
please.
shit's perfect. Venom was so good, and can't you wait for Craven? Like, damn,
I
dude.
seen that Craven trailer and I was like,
if there's one thing I'll say, at least he doesn't look like Spectacular Spider-Man's Craven. That was a mistake.
well, we don't want to.
That-
Now
that-
you will learn
that-
why they call me the Rhino.
But yeah, it looks to me, I don't have enough to really go off of, but I love Lady Gaga. I'm had to disagree, Rand. I actually did love her in House of Gucci, even though I hated that movie. Loved her, and I felt like her and Adam Driver were in two different movies. So that was one complication I had with that film.
Everyone was in a different movie.
Man, Jared Leto.
Jared Leto was just Jared Leto. He
Mario
was just
knockoff over
another
here.
day in the life of Jared Leto.
They cast Chris Pratt as Mario, and I was like, "What are you doing? Jared Leto's right there."
Come on,
Someone should just take out
me.
Someone just should take out all of Chris Pratt's audio from the Mario movie and put in Paolo's lines from House of
AI
Gucci.
generate his dialogue with
Yes.
his what is it?
Come
With Jared
on,
Leto's.
Let's
No,
go
that I will
over
never
to
not
the
laugh at that
Mushroom
edit of
Kingdom.
Jared Leto like going, and then I will never not laugh at that edit.
It
But,
looks like chocolate,
the-
but it tastes like a shit.
So weird.
The worst use of a J cut I think I've ever seen or
Right?
heard.
Oh my god, I was just like,
Oh
dude,
my
terrible.
Christ!
But Lady Gaga's suit, I kind of wonder if that's like a precursor suit. I don't know if that's like the final thing we're gonna see.
Wait,
But
there's
I
a suit
think it's like
image
kind of
out.
it fits this universe. I think it's not my favorite by far, but I think it fits this universe, and I'm a little monster, so I'm actually pretty excited for this.
I don't like
Patrick?
to look at that at all.
Now you know how you feel.
What's that chain in the middle? What the fuck? Okay, whatever, man. I
For this
couldn't.
world though, like for this
I
world,
couldn't give a.
I
I
think it
couldn't give
works.
two shits about this movie, man. Joker was fine. Like I enjoyed the filmography and the filmmaking involved. I thought the story had a good message that was handled in a very problematic way. That was very foggy. Between violence, gun control, mental health, it just didn't understand how to mesh all three of those and then do it in a way that felt like it was trying to be more important than it actually was.
Yeah.
In the
Great
sense
way to
of
put it.
it was very preachy in the sense of absolutely not exploring these things in a way that should be at fucking all. Joaquin Phoenix is great. I think that the directing, set design, production, cinematography is gorgeous. But fuck, man, this being a musical, like
I forgot about
this-
that part.
Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. Just fucking grab me a pillow.
Oh,
The only thing-
come on now. Come on
The-
now. That casting ain't bad now.
I'm sorry. I don't like her in A Star Is Born, and I don't like her in House of Gucci. I don't like A Star Is
Oh.
Born. Suck my nuts. I think the music is the only good thing about that movie. And the cinematography. I do like the cinematography in A Star Is Born, but I think it's an inferior version to the original, not the remake that came after the original. That's just my
curious to
opinion,
see-
though.
I'm curious to know how you feel about Maestro, just because it's the same director. It's probably
I'm
good.
actually intrigued by Maestro. I'm seeing it. When am I seeing that actually? I don't know. I'll figure it out later.
You've never seen a more Oscar baity movie,
Right. I think he's
whatever
No,
that
I have. Trust me, and it's called King Richard.
No.
Oh, hold
you
on
haven't.
now.
I love
no.
Will Smith in that movie, but I think it's very Oscar baity personally.
Just
Yeah, this
you
one
see
is-
Maestro. Having seen both, Maestro takes the cake.
This is
Really?
definitely
Okay, I'm
100%.
intrigued. I'm more excited to see Ferrari, if I'm being honest, with Adam.
I've made it
Driver.
halfway through Ferrari and I could not stand it. I turned it off.
Really?
halfway through. Yep. I was like,
a buddy
this
of mine
was
is going to be
feels-
very upset to hear that.
So I watched both those movies at Venice. Not to go off on tangents, but Maestro, I got out of Maestro and I was like, I enjoy that. I think it's a good movie. Everyone else around me loved it.
Loved it,
And
didn't
the
they?
first thing I said, like, I'm not there with you guys, but the Academy is gonna eat this up. And ever since then, all we've seen is exactly that shaping up.
Okay.
Ferrari. I watched it and I was kind of the guy who liked it the most. And still I didn't love it. I thought this is a really good movie. I really enjoyed the performances. It was a surprise film at the London Film Festival. Everyone hated it. Everyone thought it was awful. Everyone was like laughing at it.
So I'm not alone.
Ever since Adam Driver was cast, I've been keen for this movie.
Same here. I was looking forward to it, man. I mean,
and it's a return of Michael Mann, Collateral.
Yeah.
Boom.
Ollie with Will Smith.
Okay. Also, I want to preface, I don't hate King Richard. I think it's actually a really well-made movie. I just think it's very Oscar baity. I need to clear that up. But on the sense of Joker, whatever the fuck your subtitle is, I don't even care enough to remember what Folie is.
It's Delusion for two, or Delusion of Two, or something.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. So they're talking about the fact they made two of these then. Delusion of Two. Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
At least they're self-aware.
I'm actually really surprised.
Sequels over this.
I'm really surprised how the conversation went around the Joker 2, because I thought I was going to be the only one that was like, whatever. Let's go into one I'm sure everyone is excited about: Venom 3.
Okay, I'm actually excited. I'm actually excited because look, it has a massive lack of action, but it has a lot of Woody Harrelson goodness. I like Let There Be Carnage. I think Andy Serkis does a good job directing it. I think the VFX are light and day fucking better than the first one because it's not hiding between pitch black darkness. Which, by the way, you brighten up the images and, recolor grade and palette the first Venom movie, and the CGI is some of the worst shit you'll ever see. If you fix the visuals and you can actually see a damn thing on screen, the CG is some of the worst shit you'll ever see. For that matter, Venom 2 I think is a much prettier movie. I think it's fun. I love the jokes between Venom and Eddie. Like, I actually like this iteration of Venom, not as much as Spider-Man 2's Venom, the one from the video game. Tony Todd is perfect as the character, or the symbiote, I should say. But, I'll constantly just in Discord be like, Eddie, eyes, lungs, pancreas. Like, I think, look, even though I don't like the first Venom movie, it's perfectly watchable. I actually really enjoy Let There Be Carnage. I just want them to make a great one. And I'm holding out fucking hope, especially when I believe Andy Serkis is returning to direct this one. No, never mind. It's Kelly Marcel. I'm upset. Yeah.
He changed his tone so fast.
Very quickly.
Who are you? Oh.
Who is that?
Yeah, exactly. Now he's seen it. He's seen who Kelly Marcel is.
Oh, you're you. I see. I fucking see. You've done nothing of note aside from be anywhere else but in the forefront of any project ever.
50 Shades of Grey, right around that, right around Saving Mr. Banks. She was on the other Venom movie. She was a writer.
She wrote Saving Mr. Banks.
Yeah.
Mr. Banks is spectacular, but other than that.
She wrote fucking 50 Shades.
Yep.
I love how Patrick took a turn in that one. I thought it was going to be a really nice surprise that someone would be excited for this, and not anymore.
No.
That just took the steam out the engine, man.
That's what happens when you're live.
Man, that all happened so fast. I feel like I've been winded.
Yeah.
Oh
like
no,
Venom. It's like Venom came in like
sad.
a turd in the wind and smacked you on the face. Um, Leo,
I'd
what
rather
about
something
you?
else smack me in the face at this point.
A pancreas.
No,
There you
Because you
go.
want to eat it.
okay.
Leo, how excited or not excited are you for Venom 3?
The biggest thing I loved about Venom 2 was that they decided to chop that thing down to under 2 hours. I was like, this was a brilliant move in the editing bay. Go ahead and do that with
Andy
this one as
Serkis,
well.
okay? And Andy Serkis.
Make this
He's
make
innocent.
this an hour 40 just of goofing off. Because at this point, that's all this is just goofing off. Didn't like the first one, didn't really like the second one. But what I can commend with the Venom franchise, what I can compliment it on is that it did create some sort of tone that feels equal throughout the two movies, and that's the back and forth between Eddie and the symbiote. The two of them carry that movie, and they're goofy and fun together. I mean, Tom Hardy gets to have a blast, and you could tell he's having a lot of fun. So that aspect of Venom I like. Why the fuck are the other movies in this universe not just taking that? Just stupid, goofy. Just be stupid. Like, why is Craven trying to be this serious animal? You know, listen, I love
Craven is going to turn it around, Leo.
What's that?
Craven's going to turn it around.
Like, come
My heart
on,
is
man.
fulfilled. I don't
Wait.
even care if this movie's bad anymore. It has Judo Temple and
Madam
Chiwetel
Webb,
Ejiofor in it.
hello, Madam Webb, hello. Be funny. Just be goofy. Be just like Venom. And
Madam
at
Webb
least
can
you'll
be
have
funny.
something
She
more
was in the
entertaining.
Amazon researching spiders with him when her mom was killed, Leo. It can't be
You
fun.
know what? It has Sydney
Please be
Sweeney and
goofy.
Dakota Johnson. I'm going to enjoy the eye candy either way.
That's true. It does have my future
why I'll-
ex-wife, but
Right,
we'll talk about
that's
it.
why I'll
Madam
be
Webb.
seeing
What, Dakota Johnson or Sydney Sweeney?
Sydney Sweeney.
Because I think she's about to be someone else's ex-wife very soon.
Shh, you shut up. So Venom 3. Venom 3. I did not care for the first one. I thought I think I watched it before like the reception came out, and when the reception came out, I think everyone's crazy because I do prefer Uncharted, but for better or worse, it's like
Same.
it's there, it exists, kind of. I think the second one, like Leo put it, they were told they need to shoot this film. They saw the script, they snorted cocaine, and they got through it as fast as everyone could.
That's
Because that
perfect.
film is high octane and it doesn't stop for a second for the good and for the bad.
Yep.
Venom 2 just doesn't stop. And then it's over, and you're like,
The prison break
Okay.
scene with Carnage, you can't fault, by the way. The Carnage breakout scene is kick ass.
I'll tell you what,
It was
it's
dope.
true. I cannot fault it because I
Yeah.
don't remember it.
Oh. Damn.
I cannot
But he
fault
sticks
it.
his
I cannot
little
praise it.
symbiote tentacles down man's throat.
That's what she said.
Exactly, it's hentai.
Look, Venom 2, I was on the first screening ever. I was in the first row because I got there late. It was on IMAX. It actually wasn't that bad when you hear the words IMAX first row. Tom Hardy was there. Andy Serkis was there. They asked everyone, hey, whatever you see in this movie, just keep it to yourself. Don't tell anyone. And then you watch the movie, nothing of note happens to tell anyone. And then you get the post-credit scene. And I'm like, okay. And then 5 minutes after leaving the theater, I get leakers DMing me like, oh, does this happen? And I'm like, sounds like you already know that it does. Someone already told you, but yeah, it happened. And then Kevin Feige saw that and he said, nope, go back. And Venom went back on Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah,
So,
The most
that felt like a
hyped part of the
massive
movie-
middle finger to
Yeah,
everyone.
exactly. Right now, we don't have a trailer. We don't have an official plot synopsis. There is
It's
a
still in
leaked
production.
plot out there. There is a leaked plot out there that if you've
Okay.
seen, I personally feel very don't do this about it.
Hang on, hang on. I'm
That's-
looking it up now. I'm looking
Yep,
it up
same.
now. What is
So-
this? I need to know.
The
Is
plot.
Venom is
I'll tell
Venom
you,
going to go
I'll tell you.
against Scream
I'll
and
tell you on
Toxin?
air.
If he doesn't,
No.
I'm done.
No, he doesn't. So the supposed plot is that after being for 5 minutes at a bar in the MCU universe, Venom discovers the Peter Parker of his universe, but he's like I think he's a child. I don't remember if we have a specific age for him, but he's a child. And Eddie decides to be a mentor to that Peter Parker of his universe. So yeah, that's again. This is a leaked plot. It hasn't been
Multiverse,
confirmed. So
this
that
isn't a
was-
complete plot synopsis. This is a fucking novel.
I saw one for that had like a Reddit.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
paragraph.
It's literally a fucking novel.
Yeah, I'm like that's too much, bro.
and but it will be impressive if they can pull off that novel in 90 minutes as fast as they did the second one. So we'll see. Again, right now, I not having liked the previous two, though I find the second one watchable just because how fast it moves. It's
and
like
to-
this,
and
it's
and Andy Serkis
sure.
and Woody Harrelson
and there's gonna be carnage.
and Carnage
There's not enough
and
carnage
Cle-
in that movie, by the way.
and Cletus Cassidy. Don't forget Cletus Cassidy.
Hey,
The name's
yeah,
And
Cletus.
chickens. Don't forget the chickens in the apartment.
Oh yeah.
But
'cause
you know what they
yeah.
did forget in Venom 2? That horrid wig that they had him in the first one. I was like, thank God they got him out of that wig.
I wanted him to keep
mess.
that. That would have been so funny.
Fucking
Yeah.
around with that mop bottom on his head through the whole movie.
Hey, I used to have a mop.
Seems like we're all in unison for Venom 3. Let's get to Kraven the Hunter. Because this is one of those films that I really, really want to be excited about. I love Kraven the Hunter. Aaron Taylor Johnson is a great choice. DJ Caruso or JD Caruso, I'm not nope, I'm thinking of the completely wrong person. JC Chandor or Candor is directing this. He did Triple Frontier.
Candor.
He did
Oh, shit.
he
The
did,
bottle city of
No.
Candor.
he did A Most Violent Year, which is a very underrated movie with Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain. He's a good director. You have, like I said, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Russell Crowe with another accent, which I'm very excited for. Ariana DeBose, future ex-wife, again over here. Sony is like grabbing them all for me. Christopher Abbott, who is supposedly Levi. Who's Levi Miller? I know that name.
The Pan.
Oh yeah, terrible movie. Good actor though.
He was very good and Better Watch Out.
Wait, Pan, that
also-
Peter Pan joint?
Yeah,
The one where
Joe
they
Wright-
sing what is it called? Feels like Teen Spirit in a Peter Pan movie.
Yeah,
the
no.
one where Caucasian actress Rooney Mara plays Tiger Lily. That's the one.
Trash.
Again, Kraven the Hunter is one I really want to be excited about. However, the constant delays, the very trailer that they put out, and
Yeah, that's the way to put it.
the whole Sony Spider-Man-less universe movies have not been working out for what? We got Venom 1, Venom 2, and Morbius 3 times now. So I have no hope for this, despite really wanting to be proven wrong. Also, the movie looks terrible. It looks darker than Venom. It looks
Yeah.
colorless than Venom. Somehow.
And bloodless.
and bloodless.
He's a hunter. It's literally in his nature to be fucking violent.
And he's not a single animal in this, it sounds like. So,
I am hoping
He's vegan
I am-
too. He's also
He's
vegan.
yep.
he's vegan too.
Protector of the animal world.
Kraven's vegan.
I am hoping at the very best this could easily be the best Sony Spider-Man-less movie because all the Russell Crowe scenes will be amazing because he is one of the best actors working today and he's putting yet another completely different from Thor Love and Thunder and from the Pope's Exorcist stupid accent. And I cannot wait for it. Leo, what are your thoughts?
This looks just 20 years too late, man. It looks, it moves, it feels like a 2001 movie.
No, I'm asking your thoughts about this movie specifically, not about the whole universe of Sony.
Oh no, I'm talking about Kraven the Hunter. Yeah, actually, well said. Because Morbius. But yeah, I think it looks like it could have had potential had there not been a shot of him getting bit by a lion and getting fucking superpowers. And I was like, all right,
radioactive lion.
what are we doing with this universe? I don't get it. and then
I'm
it
coming
doesn't
to
have the
take
goofy
this spider.
tone that Venom had. And I was like, if we would have just rolled with that throughout this, maybe I'd be excited, but I'm just not excited. It looks flat. It looks boring. It looks like damn near any just random action movie out of the early 2000s. Dudes breaking into a truck, beating up these other guys. We've seen it before. Looks like nothing special to me, so I'm just not excited at all. Aaron Taylor Johnson's a great choice. Even the suit looks pretty cool. Would have loved to have seen this in the MCU with Spider-Man as the main hero and him as the villain, but it sounds like that is not the case. So we'll
Because
see.
instead they're going to throw Ant-Man in there to be with him instead.
The two bug boys.
I'm sick of these. So many.
Instead of
people
butt
being in
buds,
these
it's
movies.
bug buds.
Bug buds. Patrick. Craven the Hunter. What do you got?
Hey, it's got Ariana DeBose in it.
Yes, future ex-wife, like I said.
Oh, and I didn't know Christopher Abbott was in it.
Yeah,
I've learned that.
I think he.
Hey,
I
at least I've
heard.
got.
Oh,
At least
it's
I'll
got.
be At least I'll be entertained with the eye candy once again with Ariana DeBose.
Because
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
got someone
yes, sir.
else.
At least
that
I'll
is
have the eye
playing,
candy.
Is playing the chameleon.
Morbius. They
Oh
had
yeah,
I'm sorry, they're doing Chameleon?
yeah, because he's Craven's brother, but it's the guy that literally plays the same character in every movie. He was-
Will Bowden?
Oh,
No. His name is Fred Hatchinger. He was in
Fred. Let's
Pale
just
Blue
call him
Eye.
Fred.
Fred.
He's
He was
simply
in Pale
Fred.
Blue Eye. He was in season 1 of The White Lotus with future ex-wife Sydney Sweeney.
Okay.
He was in The Woman in the Window, and he's always the same fucking character in every single thing. For some reason, he's not
Most
Chameleon.
generic-looking guy to play
Yeah.
Chameleon, by the way.
For
Yeah,
some
he-
reason,
I
I was
know,
about to
he's
say, isn't Barry Keoghan in this movie playing Chameleon? And then I like, oh, that's definitely not Barry Keoghan.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that would have been a
right.
better choice. That would have been a better fucking
yeah.
choice.
Wait, was that like said?
No,
somewhere?
but
No,
for
but
some-
it
I knew
just would have
Chameleon
been.
was in this movie.
You know what?
I knew.
Get Fred to play Joker and Barry Keoghan to play Chameleon. Swap them around. It's so much fucking better.
I would have Fred not play anyone, but sure.
Right. I was like, I don't know about Fred, but
I don't know about Fred, man.
But like seriously,
but Barry as Chameleon sounded awesome.
Yes,
yeah,
I agree.
yeah. Okay? I need to ask really quickly. Have either of you finished the Spider-Man 2 game with all the side missions and everything as well?
I
No?
haven't.
Damn. Okay, I'm upset. I can't say what I wanted to say regarding a certain character that's going to definitely be in Spider-Man 3. But Ren
Right.
knows what I'm
Yeah,
thinking of, and I'm excited. Yeah. Are you excited? There's going to be some fucking twisty shit with my mind in that one.
In the DLC, I don't think we're even gonna have to wait until Spider-Man 3 comes out.
Well, I'm thinking the other one that they're going to
Game.
do, considering the symbiote in the game, and well, the other symbiote in the game as well. Not saying who, just in case Leo isn't up to that point yet and hasn't been spoiled like I was before the game even came out.
Oh, geez. They spoil
but
these leakers, man.
My favorite symbiote, let's just put it this way, makes a very brief appearance in the story, and I was very happy.
Yes, very much so. Leo, what part of the game are you at?
I don't have it, unfortunately.
Oh, you
I
don't have it.
my
Okay.
PS5.
Christmas is
Okay,
right
Leo,
around.
I'm going to send you my PlayStation details, and you can log in and download the game. Play it, my boy. Play it.
I wish, man. I'll be able to play it soon, but just not right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, the cream of the crop.
No, second last. Second last.
Second last, what do we got?
El Muerto is still
No, it's canceled.
slated.
It's
That's cancel, bro.
Really?
That's
I
canceled.
missed
Funny
that
enough.
entirely then.
El Muerto is muerto, so we don't have
Thank
to talk about
goodness.
it.
Get rid of that one.
Because that is still on IMDb slated for 2024 in
Yeah.
pre-production.
Goofy.
It's gonna stay in pre-production through 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Web is coming to us around Valentine's Day. Around Valentine's Day. I know it's February, but I can't be bothered to remember the date.
Whoa.
S.J. Clarkson directs this film. Now, S.J. has directed a few episodes of Jessica Jones, which is a show that, for the most part, I really liked. I love season
Post.
1. I love season 1. I
Yeah, season
really
one's
love
great.
season 2.
Season 2.
Season 3 happened. Life on Mars, I hear, is a pretty good show. Anatomy of a Scandal is a pretty good show.
Lots of
It
TV
has a
show
pretty
credit there.
Yeah, it's a pretty good cast, I will say. I am, and I know I'm gonna shock all of you by saying this. I am 1,000,000% excited to see this film. It looks so terrible in a way that is immeasurable by words in the English language, at least for me, because English will always be a second language.
What about Portuguese?
There's no, we don't have that many funny terms apart from our swear words. It's this looks like whatever this is, you need to watch it for yourself to believe it. Like that a movie
The
like
trailer
this,
alone looks like
it's
a fever dream.
oh my god. I thought it was one of those fan made trailers where you pull like footage from actors in other movies
Right.
and
Yeah.
pretend like it's the one movie. And it's like, what is going on? The editing is
Is
out of
horrendous.
this world. Is oh my! How was that approved by several people that gave the green light to that? I'm sure. The dialogue is. Mwah, I wish I could write something this bad. I have no
Doesn't she
idea.
say
what this
something in
movie
the
is.
trailer to the lines of like, I have to protect you or something? I'm like,
The
the
best
fuck?
line, and it's gonna be Dakota Johnson's Oscar clip, is he was in the Amazon with my mother when she died while researching spiders.
Like,
Dakota
what?
Johnson. Man, she was just lifting her career up after 50 Shades. She is such a
Right?
good actress. And then she does this. She is back to being Anastasia, just bland and boring.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney finally got a script that doesn't require her to show her breasts, and it's this, unfortunately.
It's this bullshit.
Hang on, her movies show her.
Have you never seen The Voyeurs on Amazon Prime?
I have
I'm
not.
just all right. Then I know what you're watching tonight.
No, I'm going to be watching
Isabella
more Doctor Who tonight. I'm just time to start Capaldi's run.
All right. Isabella Merced, a really good actress, up and coming. I
Yep.
hope she doesn't like stop her in the track. She's gonna be in Superman Legacy, so this will
Yeah,
easily
she'll
be
be
forgotten.
Who's she
Adam
playing in
Scott?
Superman Legacy again?
She's playing Hawk Girl.
Hot girl. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Not Hot Girl. She plays that in every movie, but she's playing Hawk
Yeah, I was about to say that's just
Amen.
her.
Celeste O'Connor, who was just in A Good Person with Florence Pugh.
Mhm.
Emma Roberts, who's a good actress, not as good a person, according to what I've heard. Adam Scott, really good actor. Severance. A really good
Parks and
cast
Rec.
all around. But my God, again, like I said, I am excited for this film for all the reasons they don't want us to be excited for this film.
Yeah.
Patrick, let us know your thoughts.
I thought I was hallucinating when I watched this trailer. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it felt like a bad dream while I was awake. It felt like one of those.
You had gone for some shrooms.
This is my
watch
this is
this
my sleep paralysis demon. This movie, like this fucking movie, man. My buddies and I did that Jax film thing back in 2015 when he watched the Emoji Movie trailer frame by frame. We did this for the Madam Web trailer over Discord, and when you watch this movie, this trailer frame by frame, you never believe. Like, I understand VFX look worse when it's not in motion, like when you're freeze framing, but the lack of effort when it comes to the color grading and the masking and just the green screen of things. Like, there's literally
And
a
the
fucking
the suits
Oh,
look
God.
terrible.
There's literally a shot where the villain, whatever his fucking name is, Ezekiel, he's jumping off of a fucking taxi onto another car, and his foot is bigger than his entire body. And I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? There's a shot where fucking Sydney Sweeney, that one shot of her in the suit that you get, her arm is phasing through the hair thanks to the fucking. I said this to my buddies. She would have been a great Black Cat.
Yeah.
She would have been a great fucking Black
man.
Cat. But like her arm is phasing through the hair because of the terrible cropping on the green screen. Like
This I don't agree with. I don't think we should have.
No, it looks worse.
Of
Here's the
Arrow
thing.
that much.
And that's an insult to the CW. That's an insult to the CW because the
Hey,
CW, early CW, like Flash, Arrow, you name it, looks great. Latest CW, this looks worse than that. This looks like Sharknado levels of shit VFX. Like I'm talking from a visual standpoint majority. Like, I wasn't even paying attention to the directing, the editing, the lighting, the color grading, the cinematography. This entire movie seems like a fucking fever dream. I feel like when I go in, I need to be high on something or fucking blackout drunk.
I cannot. I need to watch this movie as sober as possible because whatever I'm going to watch, I need to process
I
it.
might throw myself down the aisle if I watch this sober.
Oh my god.
I might,
Oh,
dude, if I don't
no.
watch this on something, I'm going to be doing what I did in Zoolander 2 when I was a twiddly little twat of a fucking teen in an empty theater, running up the backs of the seats, up the entire fucking cinema, thinking I'm like Spider-Man or fucking something. Like, I was a twat of a teen in the theater.
So I take it you're just as excited as I am for the exact same reasons as I am.
Oh, dude, I'm going opening day. I'm going opening
I'll be
night
there.
screening. Like,
I'm gonna.
Bro, we need to somehow get all of us to see this movie together. Like, even if we can't see it in person together, all of us jump on Discord after it hits digital and press play together. We need to watch this, our entire group. Everyone needs to witness this together at some point, even if it is a rewatch.
100%. We need to do a live watch along on YouTube when it comes out, like on streaming or on Blu-ray or whatever.
Oh, Christ.
We're gonna need to deconstruct this. Leo, let us know your take.
So, the writing duo behind this movie,
Oh, no.
wrote Morbius, Gods of Egypt, Dracula Untold.
Hey, Dracula Untold is underrated, I will say.
The Last Witch Hunter, and Power Rangers 2017, which Power Rangers 2017, I actually didn't want to see a sequel to that.
Yeah.
So not the best
Last Witch
filmography
Hunter?
of that team.
The Last Witch Hunter? Really?
Someone looked at that resume and was like,
This is the guy. You know
This
what?
is
We
the
want
one.
a crap movie. This is the guy. Listen, I'm not at all excited. I will be there day one because of the cast. Absolutely. Every single one.
And the movie. You got to be there for the movie, man.
That movie sits in the background for me. But Celeste O'Connor, Sydney Sweeney, Dakota Johnson, Isabella Merced are four names I would have loved to see in the MCU. I see them here and I'm like, man, really, we got to use them for this whack Terminator Salvation ripoff. They don't even know what the hell they want to do with this story. It just feels like an overcomplicated way of telling a story. It just feels overcomplicated, weird VFX with a good cast. So we'll see what happens, I guess. But
oh my god! Okay, one little bit of detail.
Isn't even this character. So when you said the Bigfoot, I was like, oh, okay, that's Ezekiel Sims. But I'm like, this is whatever knockoff Spider-Man toxin thing they want to go with. I don't know what they're doing with this character, but they needed to have Spider-Man, some kind of knockoff, random Dollar Tree style Spider-Man. They had to have him somewhere in the movie, and it's Ezekiel Sims.
I think
what the fuck's about to happen.
I think Burke Sharpless is about to have a trifecta when it comes to nominations for worst screenplay with this movie, because he's been nominated for worst screenplay at the Razzies for Gods of Egypt and Morbius previously. And only those two. By the way, yeah, fuck.
It's a bad that's a bad resume. I was just looking to see who was writing the movie, and I'm like, ooh.
Obviously, not to say writing a screenplay is easy, but God damn, man.
Damn. And Claire Parker, this is her first screenplay as well. I am so sorry.
Oh no.
I am terribly sorry for everyone involved in this film. I hope every name on the credits gets replaced with Alan Smithy, and no one gets the blame.
Well, fun fact, it seems like what was
someone already did.
No, Burke Sharpless apparently since, because you can't find IMDb, and I don't know if it's true, but apparently has denounced association with Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters as a writer, where it's now an Alan Smithy credit.
Not for the writing,
I like that movie too. I don't like the writing, but you know what? It's a fucking fun movie, man. That's an enjoyable
super
movie.
schlocky.
That's the one with Jeremy
and
Renner.
not only that, I can't remember her name.
Gemma Arterton.
That one was all right.
Gemma is eye candy.
Super underrated.
Movie.
Super underrated.
Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunter got hated on way more than it fucking
Yeah.
deserved to. And Gemma Arterton, the entire movie, is like the biggest like teenager wet dream for me. Like,
Yeah.
I loved her in that movie. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. They actually give good performances throughout that shitty fucking script. Peter Stormare is fun for that little portion he's in too.
Famke Janssen as the villain, as like the main witch.
Is that how you say her name, or is it Famke Jensen?
I don't remember.
I've always said it's Famke Janssen,
Oh,
but
okay.
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is.
Also, before we move on, I need to ask, because we didn't even address it, the elephant in the room, the age-old question, because the trailers haven't answered this question. The movie probably won't. Why is there a Madam Web movie? I don't get it.
Because they want to build up. Here's why. They want to build up to a Sinister Six that's similar to the Suicide Squad. That's what they
Which
want.
once
They want
again
their own
won't
goofy-
fucking happen.
That fills me with so much confidence.
They want that to happen. They want their own goofy team up movie. So that's the way to do it. Let's get Madam Web, Morbius, Venom, who
Vulture.
else? Vulture, and a couple others. And
Has
let's
to
just
do
get
with
them all
Spider-Man,
together and do a
maybe.
No Way Home style, funny.
Also,
goofy
apparently-
moments where they all come together.
Apparently,
goofy.
is it true that Andrew Garfield is apparently in Venom 3?
I don't think that's true,
not.
but
It's what a lot of people want to happen, and for the sake of Andrew Garfield, I hope not. But no, he isn't.
Yeah.
oh, I'd love for it to happen. I would love for it to happen. But
All right,
yeah,
everyone.
no, it's not gonna happen.
Not
Those
for
are the
his sake,
comic
just
book-
for our sake.
Yeah, there's Andrew Garfield, cool. And then everything else in the movie.
Yeah. Hey,
Those
Chiwetel
are the
Ejiofor, you can't go wrong.
Poor Chiwetel Ejiofor. Use Mordo. Keep him busy with Mordo so he doesn't have to do this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Those are the comic book. This was a really fun discussion. Those are the comic book movies of 2024. Let's go to the final section of the show where we highlight your questions. And we start with Lady Aaron. So over the week, we got the trailer for Dune Part 2. Have you seen the trailer yet? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it? It's the third trailer for a movie, which means I am not watching it because I already watched one trailer, and that's enough. It already has my proverbial money. So
Patrick
I don't
sleeping?
need.
I'm
How
going
dare
to
you.
tell you a story right now. I'm going to tell you a story. I went to the Brisbane premiere of Dune back in 2021, and I was actually 2 rows behind the original Paul Atreides from the Keys movie.
Al McLaughlin.
Yeah, he was
The
at our
captain.
screening, and I was
How Much Your
literally
Mother.
2 seats behind him, and literally 45 minutes into the movie, I snoozed off.
Oh.
I woke up about 50 minutes later. 10 minutes later, I fucking fell asleep again, which is why I never reviewed Dune.
Damn.
I
Do I
thought the
take
movie
it-
was so boring.
Oh.
I couldn't stand, and I rewatched it and kept myself awake with a fuckload of caffeine. I still didn't enjoy that movie, man. I think the production design, the directing, the visuals, the directing, wonderful. I just think the story is flat. I think Timothée Chalamet is a profoundly boring actor to watch.
Oh man. You know what,
I-
Patrick? You might like this one then because a lot more happens in this part.
I
You
hope
actually
to
might like
fucking
this part.
God. I hope to God. And you know what? Another reason why I never reviewed Dune. I can't make a decision because it's the first part of 2. And I didn't like part 1, but part 2 could change my opinion. And I'm hoping it does, for that matter. Give a lot of context, give a lot more lore, and something to look forward to while I rewatch part 1. And for that, my opinion could very well change. The cry before the storm, or whatever the saying is. Like, just because the first movie wasn't for me doesn't mean my opinion can't change thanks to a sequel. I feel the same way, very similarly to Across the Spider-Verse. I didn't like Across the Spider-Verse. I thought way too much was going on in too quick of a process. It felt very shambly regarding its narrative and script. Too much was going on in too short a time span. The movie felt like it should have been at least 30 minutes longer, in my opinion.
I would have
to
taken 30 more minutes of that film.
Just to
I'll
let
take
things
another
breathe
3 hours.
and air. Yeah, just to let it breathe and air out a little, and to give it a little bit more time to be settled. I feel the same about Dune, but in the opposite way, where it should have just been. He's turning into a weeping angel right now.
Leo, what are your thoughts on the third trailer for Dune Part 2?
So the reason this trailer is actually why I said, Patrick, you should give Doom Part 2 a try, because
I will be
the most different trailer of any of the Doom trailers. It's packed with, it's rife with like activity, which is something that I think Doom Part 1 didn't have enough of. There's a lot going on, but also a little at the same time in the first Doom. I felt like there was very long periods of things not happening. Here, there's a lot happening. I'm still trying to, and I haven't read the books all the way through, so I'm still trying to figure out like what's going on with Paul Atreides. It seems like there's kind of a morality battle going on with the role that he's going to take up. So I think this trailer actually finally got me like extraordinarily hyped. There's great score, lots of stuff going on, lots of action, more Zendaya. There's more of just everything happening that I thought was going to happen in the first one is happening in this trailer. So I'm excited. And Austin Butler, y'all, I was like, okay, he looks like a fiend in this.
Paul Atreides.
For me, the problem wasn't the lack of action or things going on, because like one of my favorite movies of 2020, for God's sake, was I'm thinking about Ending Things, which is a movie where literally nothing happens while a lot happens all at the same time. Sorry?
That movie.
Yeah, I love that movie personally. I think it's wonderful. And like long scenes of dialogue and political fucking squabble isn't a problem in my opinion. I actually defend the Phantom Menace for that shit, for God's sake. I like the Phantom.
So that's the show right there. That's pretty much what a lot of the first half of that show is. So
yeah, like I personally love the politics of movies, like whenever they incorporate it right. And I actually think, by the way, everyone is like, it's like an hour of politics, but I've timed it. It's 20 minutes of politics in the Phantom Menace. Shut up. It just feels longer because the script isn't necessarily great. But the lack of action and things going on isn't necessarily a problem. I just didn't think the world or the story or the characters were that great. And the only person I didn't think did a good job in that movie, in my opinion, is Timothée Chalamet. I think he's a very boring actor who plays a lot of the same in every movie he's in. Very monotone, very... I didn't like him in Wonka either, I'm going to be honest. I thought he was a very bad Willy Wonka.
Man!
All right. Next.
I'm sorry. I really don't like Timothée Chalamet. He's a pretty boy.
He is a pretty boy. I'm not going to disagree.
Yeah. He plays a lot of the same roles, but when he steps out of that, like I love it.
There have been moments where he has shined. No. What is it? Little Women. I think he's very good, but that's about it.
All right. Lady Aaron, Ren, have you started playing the new Pokemon DLC, Indigo Disc from Scarlet and Violet? If so, are you enjoying it so far? Do you like it or not really? I am really enjoying it so far. I basically beat the story, so now I'm just doing the requirements of the post-game to catch Paradox Entei, because I have seen my boy. If not for the algorithm, I wouldn't even know he is out already. But I am very close to catching Entei, who is my favorite Pokemon of all time, and the new Paradox form looks amazing. Lady Aaron, the Golden Globes nominations came out of the week. Oh, well, that's sad. And the first batch of nominations... did you see the nominations overall for the movie categories? If so, what are your overall thoughts? The Golden Globes are worthless paperweights. They are awards that matter for shit. Damn. I don't care about the Golden Globes. I don't pay attention for the Golden Globes. I don't think anyone should pay attention to the Golden Globes. They put on an amazing show because everyone gets
Give me Ricky
drunk.
Gervais.
Everyone has
Give me Ricky Gervais again, and I'll be watching.
And and he's not going to be there, so I won't be watching. I'll be watching the next day if there are any good bits. Patrick, did you see the Golden Globe nominations?
I saw them. Oppenheimer not being even considered for best VFX is an absolute fucking sin.
Isn't that for the Oscars?
Yeah, but it's also not nominated for Golden Globes either.
Okay, but the Golden Globes are worthless anyway.
Well, it's mostly practical effects. Is that they're?
But that's still visual effects. That's still technically.
I was just asking, is that why they're not shortlisting it on?
I guess. Yeah,
but if that's the case, like even though they technically fall into the same category, maybe split it into two categories. That might be a fucking idea. Like have best visual, like digital effects category, and then have it be best practical effects category. Like, wouldn't that be an fucking deal? Like, hello. But you know, they have a category now for box office success. So who am I to fucking talk? That's just gonna go to Barbie, for Christ's sake. Not that it doesn't deserve it. It's just why have such a useless fucking category when we already know what's going to bloody win.
Yeah, true. Leo, what did you think? Did you pay attention to the Golden Globes?
Oh yeah, like I was like, I did a reaction on the channel. No Color Purple, the fuck? And Best Picture, that's weird. But we nominated Fantasia for Best Actress. We nominated Danielle Brooks for Best Supporting, but it didn't even make it in the Best Picture. Then also the animated lineup is weird.
That's a very strange. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I am not necessarily disappointed that TMNT didn't turn it because I didn't like TMNT.
Oh wow.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. That is probably one of the closest I've come to walking out of a theater this year.
Oh man,
I really found that experience watching that movie. An empty theater, by the way, very unpleasant. I did not like that movie whatsoever.
Full of hot. Patrick does not like animation.
I excuse you. I sat through that movie and I thought the comedy in particular was some of the cringiest shit I've ever seen. And everyone's like, "Oh, but they're teenagers. That's just how they are. You obviously haven't been a teenager for that long." And I'm like, my brother in Christ, I was a teenager literally 4 years ago, and no teenager talks like that. I'm shitting you not. No fucking teenager talks like that.
Maybe not there. Because
nowhere,
New York,
nowhere.
That's how they
no
talk.
Teenager talks like that. I
beg to differ. I think New York teenagers. I think it captured a really good vibe of like East Coast teens.
Well, I guess maybe because a lot of our teenagers are going, "Oh, issues, bar. I'm gonna roll you for diaries, mate. Or you give me your fucking tens, or I'm gonna fucking stab you, cunt."
What language are they talking over there?
The language over here is called Eshe with the millennials. They are dumb. They're essentially chavs, as they call them in the UK.
Wait, dang. Yeah. I guess we're done, Ren. We're done. We're tapped out,
Lady Aaron also asks, we also got the Critics' Choice nominations over the week. Did you manage to see those nominations?
Yeah.
And if so, what are your overall thoughts on them? Leo, let's start with you because I didn't see anything.
Yeah, the Critics' Choice was a little bit better, but also some of these play it so safe. And I like that the Critics' Choice had Nimona on the list. I think that it was missing some key players though, and I can't.
Did they have Suzume?
No, no Suzume, not
invalid.
In
what?
They're not Suzume. I love Suzume to death. It's not even gonna get nominated, unfortunately. I don't think.
That should win Best Animated Picture this year, by the way. Suzume deserves the win at the Oscars for Best Animated Film.
It's so good.
Please,
if that walks away with the animated movie, Best Animated Movie Oscar, I'd be happy. Suzume was phenomenal, but.
And even though I didn't like Across the Spider-Verse, I would not be disappointed because that movie on an animation standpoint is just absolutely meticulous and wonderful. I'm not going to be biased just because I didn't enjoy the movie. I think it's still a really good movie that I just personally didn't enjoy.
It'll end up winning.
It'll win. I think Suzume though or Nimona deserve it more personally, but yeah.
Yeah, Nimona on one list least enlightening because it just seems like the early stuff it's barely been popping up. So
the early stuff from this year seems to have been fucking buried with the award season so far.
Like always.
Always.
Past Lives has stayed in the race, and it was
cool.
I think is when it came out.
Did it really?
Yeah, it came out back in March or April or something.
We didn't get Past Lives until like fucking July.
Oh,
we got it in July July in the UK.
Yeah, because it came out the same weekend for us as Oppenheimer and Barbie. That's why I got swept under the rug here.
Oh, wow.
No one knew it fucking came out. I went to see it and loved every second of it. It almost brought me to tears.
Oh, so good. So good.
The next question.
I'm dating that a little wrong. It was June here, so a little later.
Oh, okay.
It's still a little early in the race, and there's one other movie that came out really early that's been doing well. I cannot remember.
The next question would be for Zach. It's about the God of War Ragnarok DLC.
I can answer this.
I haven't started playing because my PS5 is back in the UK because it's way too big to put on a suitcase to bring over here. So I haven't started. Patrick, what are your thoughts so far?
I have finished it, and I love every fucking second of it. It's not a very long DLC, but rightfully so. It's a roguelike story where you go through trials of Valhalla, and you are literally Kratos tackling his past in both Greek and Norse era of Kratos, and it is so beautiful. Like characters like Helios and all that, and Pandora are brought up, and all his past enemies from both Norse and Greek are brought up, and it is the most beautiful story. Like Tia basically preparing you for the trials ahead and everything. Once you go through this run, you are essentially reset and having to choose different upgrades, different heavy and light runic attacks for the Blades of Chaos, the Dropnir Spear, the Leviathan Axe, and all your different buffs and everything for your, your luck, your vitality, everything. Like, it is really awesome on a gameplay perspective. It is visually gorgeous, as God of War would have been anyway. But if this is the end, I'm not going to spoil anything, but if this is the end of Kratos' story in God of War in general, I am satisfied. It's not, but if this was to be,
okay,
he accepts something at the end of this DLC that
okay.
At one point he
Couldn't.
just couldn't. He hated it. He completely found the title vile. And it has been imperative to his character throughout his entire story, ever since the beginning when his Spartan soldiers and everything fell, when his daughter and wife were massacred due to Ares.
By him.
Well, by him, yeah, he was manipulated. But technically, at the hand of Ares, if you think about it, like on a technical level, it is Ares that did it. But man, this ending, him accepting this thing, I'm not going to say what that thing is.
Yeah, don't say it, because I want to play it.
It made me cry.
Oh,
and he accepts this to mean one thing and not what it was squandered upon to mean by someone else. Like, gives it its true meaning.
Okay.
And it is beautiful. Seriously, Ren, jump on it the moment you get a chance. Leo, jump on it literally whenever you get the chance as well. It's so good.
January 4th is when I'll be back, and I'll jump on it, and I'll download it then and probably play it on the 5th.
Yeah, it's so good, man.
Lady Erin, in honor of Wonka arriving in theaters this weekend, how would you personally rank Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and Wonka from worst to best? I can't, because Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Johnny Depp one, I've only ever seen like scenes, moments, bits of it, but I know I've never sat like through the entire thing. The other two, like, I didn't grow up with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I really enjoy it. I think Paul King brings a life to Wonka that I enjoy, and it's a big part why I love the Paddington movie, so I connect more with that. But like I said in my review, by the end of Wonka, and I really enjoy Wonka, I think it's wonderful. It's completely devoid of cynicism and is proud of it, which so many movies today are ashamed of it, kind of. Even by the end of the film, like, I really like this, but if it is a prequel to the Gene Wilder one, I want to see how this Wonka becomes that Wonka.
yeah.
I want to see that journey.
There's a
So,
missing piece. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big reason why I like the movie, because I not only enjoyed this movie for what it is, it made me want more from Willy fucking Wonka. So yeah, I can't really rank them, but my thoughts on the other two are those. Leo, what do you think? If you can,
probably the original first, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and then Wonka, and then far down, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That movie was very bad. But like you, Rin, I want to see where the Wonka story continues. It definitely feels like there's a Wonka 2, because where it leaves us off, there's more to tell. And I think that's the one part of the movie that I was like, okay, when are we gonna see him make that evolution? So it sounds like maybe there'll be a Wonka 2 where we get
it's like, what happens to him that he becomes that dude?
Right. Yeah. I was like, he's a happy-go-lucky Cheerio dude. Exactly. In this one, I'm like, okay, that's not quite Gene Wilder.
Does he watch Madam Web and then becomes Gene Wilder? Patrick, how would you rank the three movies?
I'm the same with Leo. Even though I didn't enjoy Wonka, I think it's leagues above the Johnny Depp, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah. The only redeeming quality in that movie, in my opinion, is Christopher Lee as the dentist. Dr. Wonka, I should say. The whole lollipop has always made me laugh. It's just a bad fucking movie, though. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory has always been really special to me. Gene Wilder is literally that character, like he is Willy Wonka. When people are like, name the most iconic Gene Wilder performance, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I love that movie so much. I still watch it every year, a couple times a year, as a matter of fact. It's such a, happy film while also exploring really dark fucking themes. And it's not afraid to push those boundaries. Wonka is fine, in all honesty, like, jokes aside. I don't like Timothée Chalamet in the role, but I think, like, the story is fascinating enough. I am also curious to see where it goes if they do a sequel, because it seems very fine-lined as to, okay, well, we're at this point, and then there's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but where's that midpoint, that gray area, the line he crosses to get him from one end of his life to that really dark, depressing, where he literally needs Charlie to lift him up and find himself again.
Because
and I'm curious,
world when he's he's completely cynical. But also we get more Hugh Grant as the
yes,
as he said.
Yes,
amazing.
I think visually Wonka's a bit washed out, color-wise. It feels, even though it's trying to be really colorful, there are moments where it looks extremely washed out and gray. Which, made it visually bland at times. I understand there's a point to that, especially like the whole world of it. I understand, but it just doesn't make it anything visually interesting to look at for a good chunk of the movie, outside of musical numbers, you name it, whatever.
Yeah. All right. Lady Aaron, thoughts on the clip we got for the new Percy Jackson series? I haven't seen it. I don't watch clips before watching shows. Have any of you guys seen it?
I haven't. I didn't even know a trailer was out. I didn't even know it was coming out until Zach posted his review, and I'm like, wait, hold on.
For what?
This is coming.
No, but it's not even a trailer, and if it is a trailer, I missed it because I know
there is a trailer
like a while ago, but I
didn't an official trailer came out like a month ago.
I didn't realize it. No, but apparently there's a clip. I haven't seen a
for
clip.
what?
Leo, have you, for the Percy Jackson series?
Oh,
and the Olympians on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I'm just
all right.
That first movie. I'm worried. Listen, I love the Percy Jackson books, so
yeah, me too.
Lady Aaron,
where's the clip?
I didn't even know there was one. Lady Aaron, thoughts on the trailer? Thoughts on the trailer we got for Kung Fu Panda 4?
I still gotta watch that trailer. I still gotta watch it. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't.
I think
the Zen character feels so out of place. I love Awkwafina, but her character design-wise,
she's in this too.
Yeah, she is. But honestly, I love
she's gonna be the next Dragon Warrior.
She's in Operations. She's in Ryan the Last Dragon. I'm like, there's other voice.
I love the vibe. I love the vibe of her character, like the personality, the camaraderie between her and Poe from the trailer. Okay. However, visually, she doesn't look like she belongs in this world. The comedy, especially with like those 3 kid animals that love violence, very unfunny, if you ask me. I thought that was really cringe.
I think I will actually disagree. I think it's very funny, but then they do it again, and they do it a third time. And like in like a 2-hour movie, it probably can work better than like a 2-minute trailer where you cram that in. But I thought the trailer was fine.
The villain being the chameleon, is interesting.
I
like that quite a bit for reasons.
Viola Davis too.
Leo, Viola Davis, I love that choice.
Great
personally.
Choice.
Which, by the way, really quick side note, I haven't talked about on YouTube with you guys or anything. Viola Davis is perfect in the new Hunger Games movie. She eats that ball up so much. Oh my god, she had a blast with that.
Whenever she's on screen, I'm just like, this movie elevates up.
Give me more. Give me more 80s cartoon villain, please.
Please.
Like, but yeah, it looks fine. Animation.
Right now, and I agree with you, Patrick. It kind of looks like you know what? It looks like a Zootopia character.
It kind of does. Well, like, she looks like she fits better in Zootopia. Like, visually, animation, perfect. Jack Black, awesome. Massive absence of the Furious 5 for whatever reason. We'll find out when the movie comes out.
Are in the movie, but they apparently are in the movie.
The Furious 5 don't even appear in the trailer at all.
Yeah.
But I love the... No. I think the idea of the story though is very fascinating to me. Like him having to pass on the role of Dragon Warrior to be the guardian, like what Master Oogway was. Noodles, no noodles. Yeah, I think the story is fascinating enough. There are some really cool scenes, like that moment when where they're holding the staff and they're literally throwing each other through like a dungeon.
Yeah,
That was really cool. I want to see a lot of that.
That's
It's
gonna
like
be fun.
Indiana Jones-esque almost, and I love that.
Uh,
I don't like the lack of Furious 5, man. That sucks.
yeah, they're conspicuous by their absence. Lady
Yeah.
Aaron, in honor of Avatar: The Way of Water being released 1 year ago today, I thought I'd ask an Avatar-related question. Have you gotten the Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora yet, or are you not interested in the game? Bingo, I am not interested in the game.
Bingo.
I just don't care about Avatar.
There you go.
There you go.
Lady Aaron also
We're on the same
asks, thoughts on the trailer that we got for Alex Garland's Civil War? It looks
Looks awesome.
fucking amazing.
Yeah,
It looks incredible.
It looks massive in scope for what he usually does. The tone is terrifying and real all at once. There are already people that are saying, I don't know if I'm going to like this because it's the kind of movie that is specifically targeting something and coming out in the year of election. How is that a bad thing?
Right.
That's actually
yeah,
a good thing if you ask me.
Yeah, I think it looks phenomenal. I cannot wait. I'm very glad we got this trailer because otherwise I would not consider it for my top 10 most anticipated movies next year.
Yeah.
For whenever I do that list.
Kirsten
I'm
Dunst
definitely
making a
interested.
comeback with this, by the way, and also Jesse Plemons and Nick Offerman. Great
And
choices.
Haley Spaney, the incredible Haley Spaney, who is now on the rise. Even though Priscilla is not good, she is very good as
Thank you. Because Priscilla,
dude.
oh my gosh, I was so disappointed in that film.
Priscilla.
What movie?
Priscilla.
Very
Sophia Coppola,
disappointed.
Priscilla.
What is Priscilla?
Elvis's ex-wife.
Yeah.
But
this is a thing coming where they made a movie about Elvis's ex. Okay.
Yeah,
it had a very
book and all
interesting
that.
perspective in the trailer. I was like, okay, we're seeing
Yeah.
a different side of Elvis. I'm liking that, and then we just spend
Okay.
about
I'm
a
looking at
ton
the
of
casting right
time
now.
in the
I'm looking at the
fucking
casting
bedroom.
right now. Jacob Elordi as Elvis is actually a really good fucking choice.
No,
He's not good.
I
He's
like
not
him.
good in it.
My
He
issue
is-
with the Lordy was that Butler came before him, and I actually liked Butler as Elvis.
That's the thing.
See, I didn't.
When I did my review from Venice, immediately I was like, this movie is in a very bad spot where it's coming so close after Elvis. So naturally, a ton of reviews, not saying Leo did this, but a ton of reviews, the bulk of those reviews are going to be like comparing this to Elvis instead of like talking about this movie.
Very different.
And
film.
what exactly happened? Exactly fucking that.
Yep.
Elordi plays an abusive boyfriend very well, which he also does in Euphoria. He does
And
not
the
play
kissing
Elvis
booth.
very well. Yeah, true. I think they're both abusive in those films, but anyway,
Well, yeah.
in their own ways. But while Austin Butler is a transformation, it's an embodiment of that character, and obviously Elvis is not the lead character in Priscilla. Jacob Elordi is doing an imitation. It's very much, you go into it, you want to see a Sofia Coppola movie, and it's a Sofia Coppola movie, but it's more an A24 biopic. And an A24 biopic, it's something that feels more akin to a student film. I've done many student films.
Okay.
I'm very proud of my student films, but I'm not putting my student films out as Hollywood features that go to
And
film
this-
festivals.
This felt like he was watching a long screensaver. It's just very
Yeah.
uneventful. And I know
Yeah.
what they're trying to do with that. I understand that that's part of the picture.
It's kind of the point, but
up
until the
a little bit more.
How is
the-
Jacob Elordi in Saltburn, by the way? I still haven't seen it.
very good, very good. He is
He's very good in it?
Saltburn.
Because I've been
He's
meaning to
very
see
good in
Saltburn.
He's
Oh,
very good. in
Saltburn, so good.
Yeah,
okay.
So good.
You're not going to be thinking much about Jacob Elordi after that film. You're going to be thinking
Right.
Thinking about Barry Keoghan, I've heard that.
You're gonna be thinking
But-
Barry Keoghan and his crazy self.
You're going to be thinking about the whole of Barry Keoghan.
I've seen the bathtub scene. I will say that.
That doesn't
seen
matter.
That scene.
That's not the
There's
gunk
more.
in the tub. The gunk in the tub is very good, but that's not the scene.
There's
Um,
more.
Well,
It's
this
the
feels
final
like it should
shot.
be on a website that starts with P and ends with Ornhub.
Almost. Lydia also asks, over the week, Home Alone, Terminator 2, Nightmare Before Christmas, 12 Years a Slave, and Lady and the Tramp, have been added to the National Film Registry. What are your thoughts on this? And have you looked at the yearly list of films that get into it? So
Didn't even know about that.
I don't have many thoughts, only because I am aware of the concept of the idea of the National Film Registry and the whole that it stands for something prestigious, but I don't look into it. I didn't even know about it until just reading your question, so I don't have any concrete thoughts one way or the other. But it sounds like a good thing, so I'm happy for those.
I mean, they
films.
all seem like they deserve to be there as well. Like they're very
exactly.
impactful, and they're all
Wherever
films
it
that
means they
impacted the
deserve it.
industry in some way.
Lady
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
Tramp feels late, doesn't it?
And
It
that
feels
was my
very
reaction. It's
late.
like Home Alone, like I get it. Terminator, Nightmare Before Christmas, 12 Years.
Especially
Okay,
with
like, I like
Macaulay
Lady and the
Culkin
Tramp.
just getting his star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame
yeah,
as well.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Which congratulations to him and Zac Efron.
Yeah, great
Yes.
stars this
Yes.
week.
Very, very big congratulations to both of
They're
them.
gonna put High School Musical in there in the registry.
Please fucking no.
Master of Gaming asks, do you think Deadpool 3 will make $1 billion worldwide? We mentioned this
Yes.
before last
I
week
think so.
when Zach and I were discussing. Absolutely, I think Deadpool 3 will make $1 billion. Let's see how
I
the
think
trailers
it'll-
come across, how the excitement builds. I will say, just to call myself out on something, I feel confident it will hit $1 billion. I don't feel as confident about Deadpool hitting $1 billion as over the past year I felt confident that Little Mermaid was going to make $1 billion, and look how that turned out.
Yeah,
Which
Um,
I rewatched Little Mermaid recently as well, and the only good thing about it is Haley Bailey, in my opinion. I feel like Javier Bardem in particular was sleeping through his
Oh
performance.
my God! Well, yeah, he was,
I agree with that. I agree.
he was just
Awkwafina was
acting.
insufferable. The story completely missed what made the first one so impactful and beautiful, in my opinion. So many things just misused. But Haley Bailey, whenever she's on screen, shining star, her musical sequences,
Oh, she's great.
absolute like songbird to me.
I actually like that they fleshed their characters out a little bit more, made it feel a little closer to
100%.
reality.
Really,
Made the
I feel
romance
like they did
believable.
absolutely nothing while attempting to do a lot at the same time.
Because I was like, who the fuck is, like, for me watching the original, I went
Yeah.
back and watched that original Little Mermaid the first time in probably about 15, 20 years. Like, it'd been a while. So I was like, okay, like, Prince Eric is just a no character at all in that first one. He's just this random dude. And then
I don't buy the
here we
romance
give him
in
a
that
little bit
original
more to play with. We give him a little bit more motive. And it takes a little longer for the love to happen. So I was like, I kind of liked some of the added context, but then some of it I did not like. Javier
Like Melissa
Bardem
McCarthy?
as King Trident was a terrible choice.
Melissa McCarthy was great, I thought.
Melissa McCarthy.
I think I'm more distracted
Ursula?
by the VFX around the character of Ursula because
McCarthy.
the VFX in that movie.
I thought she was okay.
I think she could have been better with a better script. I think she
Yeah,
has
maybe
the
so.
energy for it, and she definitely had the tone right. It's just, yeah,
All right.
I don't know.
Master of Gaming also asks, do you think superhero movies will improve at the box office 2024 compared to 2023?
No.
I think it's too early to tell. I
With
don't
the
think
lineup,
it's,
no.
I don't think it's gonna help that we're starting off with Madam Web.
Right. But Deadpool
Even though
3?
But Deadpool 3 again,
That's
$1 billion.
And Venom's popular. That'll probably earn a buttload as well.
Venom
Yeah,
will make
Venom.
money. Venom will make money.
Venom
I
will
don't think
make
it's gonna
money
make
because both of the
billion,
previous
for
ones
sure.
made bank.
Did the second one make bank?
It did.
The second one made over 800 million.
Because it was kind of like in the pandemic-ish crumbs. And it
Yeah,
made
so it
enough.
was like the only thing, and like rumors spread about the mid-credit scene, so everyone's like rushing to go see the movie for the second No Way Home.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, makes sense. Master of Gaming also asks, why do people only talk about Marvel and DC comic book movies instead of non-Marvel and non-DC movies? That's like we talk about a lot of that here on the show, where us, me, Patrick, Leo, Zach, everyone who like makes videos, who watches these videos, is like aware of when the trailers are coming out, of all the leaks. We're not the ones who give the box office money. We're not the ones who make movies money. The people who make movies money are the general audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of the size of the brands, the size of the IP, we our generation especially, who grew up on comic books and then came around an age around our teenage years of, oh wait, I was bullied for this, but now it's suddenly cool. Nice. So everyone knows the
It's
Marvel and the DCs, but they don't know
yeah.
the lesser companies, just
Right.
like the general audiences don't know, like, what's an A24 or what's an
Yeah.
independent movie, what's a
What an
Sundance,
original idea. Like, talk
what
to me.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look at
You
the
know
creator,
brand.
the box office for the creator, and you'll see.
Yeah, that was
Exactly.
very upsetting. That was very upsetting to
Yeah.
witness because I loved that movie so
Fucking
much.
great movie,
It's
man.
very, very good.
Um, like
But yeah, it's the
if there's
general
one thing
awareness
else,
of it.
if there's one thing I'll say that I'm really happy for with 2023 is that a lot of people in general audiences started to notice a lot more independent films and a lot more original ideas like Saltburn, like Talk to Me, or movies that we've seen before but have a unique twist on them instead that could be brought to the forefront and realize, oh shit, these are actually good. Like I loved the recent reception we've gotten for anime movies in theaters as well, like Suzume, like My Hero World Heroes Mission, like Demon Slayer Mugen Train. These movies have been earning lots of money because just like comic book movies 10, 15 years ago, now anime is getting into it's no longer funny to bully people. These are actually good fucking media.
Yeah,
Barbie and
anime
Oppenheimer
in
this
itself
year.
is like on a huge rise in terms of popularity.
Yeah. Which, by the way, My Hero movie 4 and season 7, the season 7 trailer dropped today, and movie 4 was announced officially today for 2024.
I hope I get it, because I still haven't gotten Digimon 02 the beginning in
It's
anywhere.
not you're not
Oh,
missing out.
man.
You're not missing out.
So yeah.
Oh,
Uh
I gotta watch that
you know,
Did
one.
I miss anything? All right. Nathan Madigan, thoughts on the early negative reviews of Rebel Moon? I haven't seen the movie, so I'm not paying attention to any reviews, negative or otherwise. Leo, I know you usually put out some videos on first reactions and all. Have you been paying attention? Have you researched into it in any way?
Yeah, I didn't do a video on this one because I'm on a brief hiatus, but I did see the main reactions for this one, and it just didn't sound good. Debuted on Rotten Tomatoes at like 9%. I guess there's some kind of indexing issue though that Rotten Tomatoes has, where it's like they essentially release stuff in batches. So it's like, okay, that initial 9% was not reflective of the reality. The reality is it was like 29%. So still not great, but
there's also the opposite side of the spectrum though, where like I'm gonna call them this Snyder cultists, because there are a handful out there just mass review flagging this movie and giving it positive reviews on IMDb way early. Like it was yesterday when the what is it, Rotten Tomatoes score came out sitting at like a 9.9 out of fucking 10
it was 9%
already. And then now I'm looking at it with over 500 ratings. It's already got like 70% general audience, and I'm like, the movie's not even fucking out
you'll have
yet.
the Snyder fans that'll pump that up a lot.
And to me, the low rating isn't exactly something I'm surprised by. I don't think it's a matter of quality of movie. I have seen a lot of like early reactions on Twitter where they're like the cliffhanger at the end, and I'm like, okay, that might cause a lot of problems for critics and audiences because there's an entire like 2 hours of what this movie was going to be just fucking cropped out and put into a part 2. So for that, there will be problems, especially with lack of context or something that's meant to be leading to something, but is left so up in the air for a sequel that it will cause problems in the now until further context is provided. That's ultimately going to be the case. I felt that way with Across the Spider-Verse, for example, but it also is a matter of how you handle those things. But this was literally like what, last month before that they decided that this is going to be a 2-parter now.
Yeah, it was a very recent revelation, but it just apparently the reactions are talking about like the movie itself is pretty long and boring. Like there's just a lot of criticism going on with it right now, but we'll see. I personally, I am a fan of Snyder. I'm not necessarily, you know, toxic like some of them can be, but I'm a fan of Snyder. I actually really liked Army of the Dead. So
I did too.
I'm like, I'm looking forward to Rebel Moon still. None of this makes me less excited, but it just sounds like maybe the critics weren't as big on this one.
All right.
It's fascinating though, because I saw a lot, just really quickly, I saw a lot of positive reactions coming out of the premieres and everything and early screenings that happened. Like it getting such a
That's
low.
usually filled with the fans, with the people that are already
No,
already
like
made up their
actual
minds, for better or
critics.
worse.
Like I saw actual
I
critics
didn't
like
see
giving
that.
it raved reviews and everything, and I'm like,
Mm.
what the fuck? When the actual score was posted, like I was very surprised. And currently like 10 reviews out of 42 are recommending the movie.
I hope I enjoy it. Nathan Madigan, have you seen any of the behind-the-scenes featurettes for Poor Things where they show off the meticulous set design? I can't wait to see the movie. I have, and there's actually an exhibit in London with all the
Hmm.
costumes in there that you can attend, and it's free and all that, and it's amazing. I cannot wait to go there. And luckily, it's still going to be there in January because you only get the movie in January. Thankfully, I've already watched it in Venice. Leo, have you seen any of these featurettes?
What was the movie?
Poor Things.
Oh, no, because I saw the movie like a week ago now for the first time, so I was just like staying away. Like I haven't seen a featurette.
Fair enough. Patrick?
I haven't even seen the movie, so I usually stay away from featurettes until I've seen the movie for the sake of possible spoilers and whatnot.
Yeah, I respect that. I would do the same. Nathan Holton, do you read books? Any recommendations or anything you have read recently? So
Manga.
I'm gonna take the obvious out of the way. The MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios book is fantastic. I'm reading it through the second time. I recently got a book by Rebecca Yarros called The Fourth Wing. And she's coming out with a sequel. I think it might already be out, even called Iron Flame. So far, what I've read from Fourth Wing is really good. And I also got and read, because it's actually quite small, Arnold Schwarzenegger's books, Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life. And it's amazing. It's one of those self-improvement, self-growth books. So you got everything. You got a little bit of history, a little bit of self growth, and then you got a little bit of fantasy fiction, which is my thing. Any of you gentlemen got do you know how to read, first and foremost?
No,
Reading? What's that? I recently reread Mao's Last Dance, which is a wonderful, wonderful book. There was actually a very good movie that came out back in like 2011 for it. I highly recommend checking it out. Other than that, it's just manga, if I'm being honest, like keeping up to date with stuff like My Hero Academia, with the war arc currently going on,
God,
like
I'm
the
so
final
behind.
war.
I need to get caught up, dude.
There's some cool shit that's happened, but they made a decision I really fucking hate. Ren, it's for that character that had the thing happen to them like 40 chapters ago, and then that other character managed to do that thing to them to bring them back, and then the
Your name starts with a B, right? Yeah, I know where you're going with that.
Yeah, why the fuck did they do that, Ren? Why did they do that? I don't understand. I know it's shonen. I know it's Shonen Jump, but if you're literally like, I'm up to date on One Piece as well. I've been keeping up to date with One Piece. If you're going to, okay, does anyone know anything about the recent revelations in One Piece?
I'm about 1,000 chapters behind on.
Yep.
Does anyone care? Does anyone care?
No, go ahead, Spawn, man. It's fine.
Garp is dead. Garp died. Garp has been killed. If you're going to kill Garp, literally the grandfather of fucking Monkey D, why the fuck won't you keep this character imperative to Deku's entire story dead? Why the fuck are you willing to take a risk with a big one like this one, but with one that's just as big, lacking so many consequences? Why would you not? I'm pissed. I when I read that, I was actually fucking pissed off. I didn't even finish the chapter initially. I had to put it down.
No.
I was frustrated because when it initially happened, I'm like, holy shit, Horikoshi, you beautiful man. You're taking a risk. You're actually providing consequences to the story. No, never mind. Fuck me, right? Apparently Black Clover and One Piece are the only ones with genuine consequences.
So let me ask you, Patrick, I had a question. Was the problem with which character saves which character? Is that the issue?
No, it's just that the character comes back. Like the character with what happened.
Fake outs with that character. I'm like, they faked out his death like what 2 or 3 arcs ago. I'm like,
not to fucking mention the way it happens to the character. Literally, heart boom shouldn't be fucking alive. Shouldn't be alive. Heart gone. Fucked off.
Think about the consequences that come from killing that character.
Fair, but character shouldn't have died in the first place, so I'm happy he's back.
No,
I
the
feel
character
it.
should
I feel
die.
it. But if you
The
don't make
entire
that choice,
thing,
make that
the
choice.
entire thing was literally pointed out in the moment this character literally dies.
No.
I've been trying to catch up to you. Have I finally caught up to you? Am I finally bested you, Deku? And then, nah, gone. He will never be able to do that. He literally will never be able to get his card signed by the man he has idolized but could never tell because he's too proud. That's entirely his fucking character.
No.
And he grew so much. His arc over, his entire character development.
We need
done.
to discuss this on another podcast.
My brother in Christ. I
Yeah,
am
'cause
so
I'm like,
pissed
I don't
off.
know, man. I don't
Nathan
know.
Holton. Nathan Holton asks thoughts on the Dune books. I've not read it. Leo, you have not read it.
I've read
You've not read it
half
either.
of the first one.
All right, so it's good so far.
That boring,
Yeah,
huh?
I mean, the first half
Alright.
was pretty reflective of the book.
That
Alright.
boring, huh?
Nathan Holton, why is the distribution bad in the UK, such as so many films coming later in the UK or not at all? It's territories. I agree that it's bad, but it's not terrible. It's not any worse than so many. Look at Patrick in Australia. Look how many films they get late. So we don't have it particularly bad. There are some questionable decisions sometimes, but overall, no.
Not
Nathan
to mention,
Holton.
Australia just isn't getting certain movies fucking released on physical anymore because, you know,
Yeah, that's
fuck me, fuck Disney, fuck Universal, fuck everything. We're not getting Blu-rays from Disney anymore after Guardians 3.
That's
I
true.
hate everything.
That's such
Oh,
trash.
God.
Nathan Holton, do you feel Cineworld will last? My Cineworld is always dead. 5 or 6 people at most. A film on opening night, sometimes a few more if lucky. I don't have that experience. I don't know where you are in the UK, Nathan, but where I'm from, I'm always down in Central. I'm most of the time, luckily, I'm at screenings, so it's always packed.
Hmm.
I only go like to movies if I'm rewatching it or if I didn't get a chance to get a screening.
Mhm.
But when I go, it's usually at least half a room. So yeah. Thoughts on the awful Rebelman reviews? We've talked about it. Nathan Holton, favorite so far for Oscars, such as Best Picture, Actor, Actress, and Supporting. Best Picture.
I got a few scenarios.
Yeah.
Poor Things, Oppenheimer, All of Us Strangers, Past Lives.
That's what I was gonna say.
American
I'm like, Past
Fiction.
Lives can really sneak up.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's not an impossibility for Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, I'm certain it'll get a nomination. 100%.
Oh, we're talking nominations. I thought we were doing.
I think
early
so.
wins.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
What do I want? Maestro. I wouldn't vote for it, but it's
Yeah,
100%
Maestro end up
getting-
American Fiction.
Maestro's gonna get there. I mean, Bradley Cooper for actor. He's coming in close on Cillian Murphy, who I think is still the favorite, but the
Yeah.
distance is not
It's-
that big
yeah,
anymore.
the gap's closing.
Yeah, actress Emma Stone. Gotta be Emma Stone.
Okay.
Best actress.
Who do you think? Go ahead.
So I've got a couple of weird scenarios because if we're talking Best Picture wins, I think the scenarios are Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower
Barbie.
Moon, Poor Things, and Past Lives. I think those are your 4
Not Barbie.
potential winners there.
Not Barbie.
Oh, you know what? Barbie is a big dark horse for me. I
think Barbie gets in there.
I think it'll get.
will
I think it'll
love
get
it to admit.
nominated. I think it'll get nominated. I don't think it'll win. I think
Nominated for
Oppenheimer's
sure.
taken
I'm
away.
talking.
I
I was talking just win.
Oh, just win.
early-
Okay.
Oh yeah,
okay.
I
Early
think
win.
win with
bad.
Best Picture is going to go to Oppenheimer. 100%.
I think so,
personally.
but they could shake it up on us a little. And then
yeah.
actress, I think you've got a battle going on right now with Lily Gladstone, Carey Mulligan, and Emma Stone. Now, Emma Stone, Poor Things, just came out? Didn't it just come out? So
Yeah.
it's like, all right, we'll see how it shakes up a little bit later. But I think there's like a bit of a 3-way tussle going on with those 3. And then
for me,
actor, I'm with you, Rand. I think Cooper's sneaking up. He's sneaking up on Murphy. I think Cillian ends up getting it though. But
He's still my favorite. I would absolutely give it to him.
yeah, Paul Giamatti will be in that conversation. It looks like Coleman Domingo will also be on that lineup, so that'll be nice.
For supporting actress, I'm not like in my head. It's very
Florence
nebulous.
Pugh.
Like there are several for for Oppenheimer.
Oh, if we're
But
thinking like nominations, definitely
Yeah.
Divine Joy Randolph, definitely
Divine, yeah,
Danielle
yeah.
Brooks. Emily Blunt will end up on the list, I think.
Yeah.
Sounds like Jodie Foster is getting a lot of for that Myad. I'm like, I don't really like that
Well,
movie, but she's
I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna make it. I would not only nominate her, I would give her the win. I am for the second year in a row shouting out Claire Foy to win the Best
Yeah.
Supporting Actress award for All of Us Strangers because oh my god, she's so good. She's incredible.
For,
maybe
She's
for me
incredible.
personally, for Best Actress, at least, for at least a nomination, I'd like them to break the fucking mold for crying out loud for horror movies. And I would like them to nominate Sophie Wilde for Talk to Me. I want them to break that fucking mold and nominate Sophie Wilde. I thought her performance was rich. I thought it was heartbreaking and very traumatized as well. Like, a lot of people don't take into account how hard it is to act and consistently stay in such a state of panic throughout your entire performance.
I should have nominated Lupita Nyong'o for Us and broke the mold with
Yeah,
that.
and what is it? What's her name for Hereditary? Toni Collette. They should have fucking
That would have
nominated.
been another good one.
Emily Blunt in A Quiet Place.
Emily Blunt in A Quiet Place. John Krasinski in A Quiet Place as well should have been nominated.
Millicent
You know,
Simmons in A Quiet
actually,
Place.
you know what? This might be the bias in me, but I genuinely think not just as the franchise goes, but he gave a career best performance. Give me
Tobin
fucking
Bell.
Tobin Bell. Give me fucking Tobin Bell. I don't care what you say about the Saw movies. He was absolutely incredible. And fun fact, a large portion of his dialogue was actually improvised throughout that movie, including his entire speech about dying people.
True. All right, Nathan Holton. Thoughts on Naomi Scott in Smile 2? I am so excited because I love Naomi Scott and she's disappeared for years.
Right.
Since
Where's
Aladdin.
she been?
Since she
Since
disappeared
Aladdin,
after
yeah.
Aladdin.
Aladdin
Yep.
should have been the thing that like puts her in everything.
That's gonna put on the map, man.
Yeah,
And
she was
Smile
great
was
in
a
Aladdin.
Smile was a really nice surprise last year. I'm glad they're doing a sequel. She's coming into the sequel. More Naomi Scott will never be a bad thing. So if I was already excited for this film, which I was, I'm even more so now.
I am not excited because I'm happy for her, but I don't like Smile. I thought it was one of the funniest. I thought it was a really funny bad horror movie. I laughed my ass off through a majority of that runtime.
How dare you? Nathan Holton, thoughts on Death Stranded and Dwayne Johnson joining up with A24? Completely indifferent to Death Stranded.
I've got some opinions.
Hideo Kojima thing. Dwayne Johnson, happy to see it. Really interested to see what comes of it.
Cool.
Don't know that I like that it's A24, but again, I haven't. As the person who's most excited in the world to fucking watch The Iron Claw, I don't have access to The Iron Claw.
I know, man.
Oh, really?
No, I can't.
We have it.
Give me a moment of silence for this. But Leo, what are your thoughts on these two projects at A24?
The Rock, the one with the Rock, and then what was the other one? I'm sorry.
Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding movie with A24.
Oh, yeah, that could be cool. The Kojima one. What is The Rock doing?
Taking chances. Isn't that what people want?
He's taking a swing and possibly canceling Moana finally.
No.
Well, listen, man. I'm like the Black Adam stuff, Moana, when he came out and made it about himself. If he does a drama, like finally we get to see that, right? Because it's been the Rock brand and damn near every role he's been in up to.
But
this
it was
point.
fun in Rampage, okay? It was fun in Rampage.
I didn't even watch that, so you know what?
Really fun.
We'll see what Johnson's
really
doing.
enjoyable.
He's trying to act. I'll give it a chance.
All right. Patrick, yeah, sorry. I was gonna skip.
No, you're okay. I'm gonna put it this way: anyone who's played Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding, it's a great game. Oh my god, what a fucking snooze! It's a mailman simulator. That's all it fucking is. And cutscene upon cutscene upon cutscene. I shit you not, there are cutscenes that last about 20 fucking minutes.
Jesus fucking Christ!
And the ending of the game is a cutscene that feels like a 40-minute cutscene where there are like 5 mid-credit scenes. I think Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding is a meticulously crafted game with a boring story that is just so uninteresting, and it's just a glorified mailman simulator. I shit you not, if this does become a movie, I just burped in the middle of my sentence. I am so sorry.
Apparently, it's going to be a new story, not like a straight adaptation.
Please, for the love of God, make it more interesting than the game then, because I can't sit through another fucking thing of Death Stranding, man, even though Death Stranding 2 is going to happen, so yay me, 60 more hours of...
All right. Nathan Holton, do you feel Madam Web will be bad? I think we spent enough time on explaining yes.
Yeah.
Nathan Holton, thoughts on new Saw film
Right,
being
please,
announced? Very, very, very fucking excited. We're gonna get. Why am I blanking on the greatest character in the franchise's name? Patrick Hoffman. Hoffman is
Costas
coming back,
Mandalos
baby.
Hoffman. There's a lot of people
Yes.
not happy about this because
Fuck those
allegedly
people.
he's a racist and, you know, homophobic and all these things. I can't confirm
I take
these
back what I
things.
said. I was talking about the character.
These are just alleged. These are just allegations as apparently to who he is.
Okay.
I've never seen anything that indicates as such personally. People have been like, oh, but he's following these people on Twitter, and I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't mean fucking shit. Like, he's got his political views, you've got your political views. So fucking what? Also, he's Australian. What does he fucking know about American politics, for crying out loud?
Ozzy, Ozzy. Oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, oi. But, you know, I'm excited. I'm upset that the writers of Saw X aren't returning. Pete Goldfinger and Josh Stolberg have confirmed that they are going on to their own new project and are stepping away from Saw for the meantime.
That's a shame.
They made a little joke about it on Twitter, how you're now wanting us back and everything, but remember how you all initially reacted with Jigsaw and Spiral. So
they sucked, sir. So we were right.
I like Spiral. Fuck off.
You fuck off. You're in the future.
But look, I think it's really funny that they can make a joke about it though, and they're really self-aware. True. They are very in touch with the audience and the fandom, and I think that's really nice. I'm sad that they're stepping away, but I'm glad they got to step away from the franchise in the meantime with a really big high note. 1, really good performance at the box office. 2, the best performing Saw movie, both critically and also from audiences on a review level, if that, for a lack of better term. Yeah, I think they ended on a high note. They have plans to return to the franchise because they do have the Saw TV show that they've allegedly been working on, a sequel to Jigsaw, which, but you know, we'll see how that goes. Apparently, Saw 11 is going to be a sequel to Saw X, which I understand why. Tobin Bell's getting really fucking old. We don't know how long he's going to be with us. And there is a lot of shit that they need to fix up in the franchise and a lot of gaps to fill in before they go to the
in terms of the movies, it hasn't stumped them before that Jigsaw died. So,
I mean, but at the same time, they have had him in flashbacks in every fucking movie aside from Spiral.
I know. I was just kind of poking fun at it.
But even then, they had a photograph of him. So...
The one mention of him in the fucking movie, if you take that out, it's still the exact same movie and doesn't need to be a Saw movie. It fucking sucks.
Well, that's what I mean. It was never intended to be a Saw movie, by the way. Just so everyone's aware. Exactly. Like, Chris Rock came up with an idea. He loves Saw, spin-off, not related to the original timeline. People mistook it for a fucking Saw movie. That's your fault, not mine.
That's Chris Rock's fault. The slap is not his fault.
Jesus, had to throw that in there.
I had to. Come on. Nathan Holton, do you think David Tennant returns as Doctor again?
Yes.
The 70th, sure, but up until then, it kind of feels even more reductive if you do what you did and now bring him back.
Well, it's confirmed that he's still doing his adventures with Rose and everything. She was like, you took me to this planet and everything. Doctor!
Okay, fine, but yeah, no.
They're going to do a spin-off. They're going to do a spin-off called The Doctor Donner. I'm calling it right now. They're doing the Doctor Donner.
They got the Disney money. They got the Disney money.
They got the Disney money, which, by the way, I need to confirm, where the fuck is Chudy Got was season premiering? Is it Disney Plus? Is it fucking BBC? Is it
Everywhere in the world except the UK, it's Disney Plus.
Okay, because I want to know where to tune in on Christmas Day. I want to know.
It's for you. It's Disney Plus. For
I'll
Leo,
be at
it's
work,
Disney Plus.
unfortunately, but I'll figure it out.
Hell, even for me, while I'm here, it's Disney Plus. So only when I go back to the UK, it's BBC.
I'm so excited to watch it, man. I'm so keen.
Jico EP, thoughts on the new trailers for Kung Fu Panda 4? We talked about it. For If, John Krasinski's next year.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I haven't watched that trailer.
I really enjoyed the trailer for If. I thought it was really fun. I think by the time the next trailer comes out, it's gonna reveal like another layer to it that we're not expecting. Because it looks good, but by watching the trailer, you don't feel it's a John Krasinski film. And I feel there's something more. Yeah, exactly. But I feel there's something more to it.
Is that Grimace?
Kinda.
By the way, I want to say Ryan Reynolds looks like his character from his Amityville movie,
which I've never seen.
It's not good.
Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Never seen any of the Beverly Hills Cop movies. So
What?
Trailer.
Hold on, you gotta watch.
They're good.
It wasn't a thing here. Like it didn't become a thing here. So and then I because my it wasn't a thing for my dad. It wasn't one of those that he introduced to me. But Leo, what are your thoughts on the
strap in for a good time? I haven't watched the trailer, but definitely go back and check out them the Beverly Hills Cop. Those are some great fucking movies, and I'm glad Eddie Murphy's coming back. Let's fucking do it, baby. I'm in.
Alrighty. Jigo P, how do you think 2025 is going to fare out with 4 Marvel movies and 2 DC movies? There are 2 answers to this, or at least an answer in parts. Let's see how 2024 shapes up and builds up and creates momentum for it. The next part is let's see if Blade ends up coming out in 2025. Not that I'm saying I'm one of the people that believes one way or another we're getting the Blade movie. Are we getting it in 2025? That's what I'm not sure about.
I reckon we will, because it has to come out before the new Avengers movies, and the next one is slated for 2026. So if it can't come out before Avengers, they're gonna can it.
But COVID forced them to reshuffle. Things had to come out in a different order than they actually did, and they, for better or worse, to different results, they worked around it. So yeah. I mean, technically, Blade has already been introduced. Only his voice, but he's already there.
For me personally, with the whole 2025 situation, I'm not exactly like, I don't believe in superhero fatigue. I don't think that's a thing.
No.
I think it's more just, I don't think we need as many movies every year. Like I remember when there was only like 2 Marvel movies releasing a year, and it felt more special, and every movie felt like an event almost. Like
Zach and I were discussing this 2 weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, and basically the perfect scenario reached was 2 movies, 2 shows for Marvel.
Yeah, and each one and one per season, like one in the summer, one in the spring, one in the winter, one in the autumn.
Beginning of the year, January, February, March, then the other March, April, June, July.
Yeah, each
August,
quarter
September.
of the year they need to release one.
Exactly. 100%. 100%.
And I think the same thing with DC, which I think Marvel could do that, because is it 4 movies or 4 movies and shows in 2025
it's 4 movies.
for Marvel?
Right now, as it stands, it's 4 movies. I don't know how many shows, but probably at least 2 shows.
Well, we've got Echo, we've got X-Men 97. And
no, 2025.
Yeah. No idea.
Yeah, for shows, it's tough to call so early on, so soon.
Yeah, we got Agatha next year as well, don't we? By the way, whatever that's called. By the way, whatever that's fucking called.
Jigo B also has thoughts on the announcement Eyes of Wakanda, the new animated Wakanda series that might be under the Marvel spotlight. I don't know why it would be under the Marvel spotlight, especially because it's animated, but it's like something. Like we had heard rumblings of a Wakanda series for a while. I thought it was going to be live action, so it might not even be the same thing. But I'm curious for it, because being back in the world of Wakanda, for me personally, it's always exciting. Leo?
Yeah, I can't wait, man. Like, I thought it was gonna be live action though. I remember they were talking about doing like some kind of Wakanda anthology where it'd be like every episode is like focusing on a different group in Wakanda.
Well, I think that's what they're doing, but different time periods as well.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that. I just thought it would be live action.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm personally okay with the whole animation side, and I actually think it's for the better because we've all discussed this with movies like Lion King and all that, or Aladdin remake to original. There is so much more you can do with animation than you can in live action in the terms of colors and style and exaggeration with action. We see it a lot in anime in particular, in different styles, and Star Wars Visions is a perfect example of this, especially from different studios. I think if they're going to go to different time periods, different factions, I think each episode should be different studios, animation studios handling each episode. Personally, it will give its own flavor to each one and set themselves apart from each other. And I think for the world of Wakanda, this is a world that can be so beautiful and vibrant and colorful in a way that we can't really portray effectively, that feels down to earth and lived in live action. But in animation, you can go to a whole new avenue to make it feel like the comic books, if that makes sense. So if anything, I'm all for it. I'm curious more than anything. I sort of frowned a little bit when I first heard about it. I'm like, I don't know. But personally speaking, the thing that really catches my eye and makes me curious is it's going to different periods of Wakanda, and it's also going to be animation. And that's what's drawing me in more than anything else that I'm really excited for.
We also got X-Men 97 this year, so let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Jigo EP, thoughts on James Gunn talking about the worst aspect of recent superhero movies being overly reliant on cameos or cameo porn, especially with the skepticism of Superman Legacy being overcrowded. Yeah, James Gunn, which one does The Flash apply to? Is it cameo porn, or was there a story reason for all that shit? The quote-unquote best superhero movie ever made, as you put it yourself.
Very, very odd choice of words, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I think he's a hypocrite. I think he's a big hypocrite. But there is a way to do fan service right, and there's a way to do it wrong. Flash does it wrong. But if you look at, like, it's not a comic book movie, but Ghostbusters Afterlife does it right. And then I think Endgame does it right.
Wait,
I think
actually, according to Wikipedia, as we were looking at it before the show started, according to Wikipedia, Ghostbusters is a comic book superhero movie.
Technically, it is. Yeah, I guess
it's not. It's not. But
which, by the way, what is it? The new Ghostbusters movie looks. I don't think it looks very impressive from that teaser trailer. I don't think it looks very impressive.
I will say this. I think overall, what James Gunn is talking about, like his point of view, I agree. I don't agree the way he says it, that this has been happening in the majority of superhero movies. I don't think that's
it hasn't.
It happens. Absolutely, it happens. Like we've seen several times during the year on Marvel and on DC. But I don't think it's the majority of superhero movies whatsoever. All right, final 4 questions. Jiko EP, so I'm watching The Great with Elle Fanning, the superior Fanning, and Nicholas Hoult on Hulu, and so far I'm liking it a lot. What's the show you went in thinking was going to be for you, but got instantly hooked? That is a great question.
That's a great
Marvelous
question.
Mrs. Maisel for me. I was like, and then I'm like, wow, I'm actually really liking it so far.
Okay.
I was completely wrong about the show.
Patrick?
Bleach.
Oh,
anime.
I didn't think Bleach would be for me, but I ended up absolutely loving everything about it. And now I get annoyed whenever I listen to the English dub and he just says Bunkai, where it's Bunkai. But that's just the fandom. But another show I think, actually, believe it or not, can't believe I'm saying this considering how big of a fan I am of it now, but when I first started watching Doctor Who, I thought I'd fucking hate it. I thought the whole concept behind it was fucking stupid. And then I watched it and I realized how fucking awesome the Sontarans, Daleks, Cybermen, fucking Ood and all that were. And I'm like, yeah, this show is for me. I love this thing.
A show that I didn't think was gonna be for me, but I ended up really enjoying. This is a show, that I unfortunately, I have more shows that are on the other side of the spectrum. I'm like, "I'm really gonna enjoy this," and I really didn't enjoy that. Um, but
Same.
there's it's still one of the best shows of the year for me. When I do my top 10 TV shows 2023, it's gonna be in that top list, but it's the Apple TV show Shrinking. Shrinking
Okay.
is fantastic. If you have not watched Shrinking, go watch it. Jason Segel is excellent. Harrison Ford, his funniest role, one of his best performances
Hmm.
ever, but by
Wow.
far his funniest role in this. There's a particular episode where Jason Segel, Harrison Ford, and one other character are searching for Jason Segel's daughter, and they're searching for her in a college campus. And Harrison Ford absolutely kills it. Like, we unfortunately lost Andre Brower this week.
Yeah.
Gone way
Sad.
too soon.
Oh no.
Um, and Andre Brower was amazing at playing Deadpan in that show.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford's Deadpan is equally sensational. Like it. Watch Shrinking if you haven't. It's gonna get a second season, so you don't need to watch it with like, oh, I'm gonna like this and only get one season. We're getting a second season, so watch Shrinking. Um, Tobes. Ren, I know you did a top 10 Power Rangers season video years ago, which is very true in my first year of YouTube, I think. Off the top of your head, what are the top 10 Power Rangers season if you do a ranking today? Off the top of my head, number 1 is Time Force, number 2 is Lost Galaxy, number 3 is the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, all 3 seasons. I don't count the weird 10 episode Alien Rangers season where
Nah,
they're
for
kids.
that, nah. Put
Um,
that out.
after that, honestly, I'll probably go Dino Charge. Dino Charge is fantastic. Um, RPM, Jungle Fury. What else is really good? SPD. After that, actually no, Dino Thunder, then SPD. Lightspeed Rescue is up there for me because Wild Force is up there for me, and I only have one left. I'll probably go Dino Fury for the latest one for my Dino Fury, Cosmic Fury. They're technically the same season. For my last spot, but overall, I don't think I'm missing anything that I love. Yeah, I don't have In Space in my top 10. I know, hot take, but yeah, it's still really good. In Space, it's still really good. Luis Luciano, question for Patrick. Since you grew up in Australia and are still in Australia, did you see the Wiggles documentary on Amazon Prime? If so, thoughts?
I thought it was very heartfelt and beautiful. I remember for my 5th birthday getting to actually go see the Wiggles live and getting to sit there and go, hot potato, hot potato, hot potato, hot potato, cold spaghetti. Like, the Wiggles were a big part of my childhood personally. Toot toot chugga chugga big red car, motherfucker. But
What is going on?
the Wiggles were my childhood, and getting to see the documentary, it was very heartfelt, it was very pure, and that just I think the documentary was very nice. It was very good. I actually got to go to an 18 plus concert for the Wiggles a couple years ago. Alcohol and everything. Getting to go listen to the Wiggles, the old Wiggles, old Wiggles, the originals, performing one last time, and it was very nice. Got blasted that night. Absolutely fucking blasted at a Wiggles concert. Who else can say that?
True. All right, final question. Longest show ever in the history of This Week in Geek, by the way. Luis Feliciano, Ren, thoughts on, and everyone else can give their thoughts, I think. Thoughts on the What If Season 2 trailer and the official episode list that was revealed yesterday. Do you think Marvel is making us think that Thanos or Ultron is the villain of the multiverse saga instead of Kang? Not at all. I don't think, like, whatever What If indicates, it's not going to be the thing that changes the MCU. They're not going to change the MCU from this thing that's so niche that not everyone is like. I show my parents everything Marvel when I come back home around the summer or Christmas. I take them to the theaters. If there's a Marvel movie playing, I show them the shows they haven't watched without me. I haven't shown them What If. And I really enjoy season 2. I haven't shown them What If.
Yeah.
I'm not going to show them What If season 2. Like, it's just not the thing that's most important. So if they are going to like swerve from Kang, and given certain updates this week, they might not need to. It's too early to call one way or the other, but like surprisingly, the situation is kind of turning around. But yeah, if they are going to bring back Thanos or bring back Ultron, they're not going to do it from here. They would do it from the Thunderbolts or from the Marvels, or something like that. The episode list, it's not surprising. It's something we already knew, but what particularly caught my eye was the Doctor Strange episode, because Strange Supreme in the original season the first season was my favorite episode, and now intervened when and where, and what do you mean intervened? Like, I'm very curious about a lot of these episodes. They're also introducing an original character completely in another one of the episodes.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
It looks like a fun season. Leo, what are your thoughts like on the possibility of Thanos, Ultron, and which of these episodes stands out to you?
Actually, let me bring up the episode list, but I think definitely the one with the Native American hero will be an awesome episode. Can't wait for that one. But that episode, and I think there might be one more episode on the list. Those episodes do what I've wanted from the show. I want leaps and bounds with these scenarios. I want original crazy scenarios that are like, oh yeah, what if superpowers landed in the native tribes? Like, I want stuff like that. I don't want the like simple stuff we got. Oh, what if Killmonger met Tony Stark? He would be fucking Killmonger and run back to Wakanda and do exactly what he did.
I hated that episode because it was the exact same thing.
It was literally like, okay, what if this happens? I'm like, okay, Killmonger is gonna do exactly what he plotted to fucking do. So it just didn't do anything for me. I want wild scenarios, and hopefully season 2 gives us that.
Patrick?
The only episode of season 1 I liked was the Marvel Zombies episode, but that's out of pure bias because I love the Marvel Zombies run.
You didn't like the Doctor Strange episode?
Nah.
Oh, man.
No? Just What If wasn't for me personally. The only thing I liked about that was the animation personally. I didn't watch the trailer. I know absolutely jack shit about season 2, if I'm being honest. I had no idea season 2 was even coming out. I probably won't watch it. I'm just going to...
It starts on the 22nd, and 1 episode per day comes out.
Oh, cool. I'm going to be at work for most of those days, I think. But
the Christmas
I'm going to be honest.
Comes out on Christmas Day.
Shocker.
It's like they planned it or something.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But look, I'm probably not going to watch season 2, and that's just out of pure honesty. Not because like, oh, I'm planning on hating it. It's just, it doesn't interest me. I wasn't a fan of season 1, so why put myself through something I know I'm probably not going to enjoy again? The only thing I like about What If is that it gives the opportunity to have something so popular, or it works really well. It gives opportunity for a spin-off show or a spin-off movie to happen, like the Marvel Zombie show that's meant to be happening. I'm really excited for that because of how popular the Marvel Zombies episode was. And again, bias on my part because I love the Marvel Zombies comic run. I like it. You won't change my mind. I think it's really cool. Not to mention darker, grittier, more violent, horror-esque Marvel. Give me all of that juicy goodness, in my opinion. As for, you know, what did this say? Ultron or Thanos being the big bad of the multiverse saga because of this and the whole Kang thing. Look, we don't know the whole result of the whole Jonathan Majors situation. And as Red said, it looks like the whole situation's starting to turn around with that recently released clip and surveillance footage online. Do I think there's going to be a conviction? I'm not even going to comment because, in my opinion, I believe in the justice system's rule of innocent until proven guilty because it's the prosecution's job. Prove them guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's why I've never made a comment on the whole situation, because up until that point and the jury decides, Jonathan Majors is innocent in the eyes of the fucking law. So why he's been squandered in the industry and also his role as Kang, I have absolutely no idea. And it was the whole thing with the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation as well. No matter what went on with that fucking case, neither of their careers should have been affected until a result and a decision was made. And the same thing goes here. So in other words, it's too early to say, but I don't think it will be either of those two. Because one, we've already seen fucking Thanos, and two, Ultron in what is it, Age of Ultron, for crying out loud. So
And
I
in the first
highly
season of What If.
exactly. So I highly doubt, even if this situation does go the route a lot of people is thinking, even with the whole turnaround, I think they're just going to recast Kang. I think they're just going to recast him.
David
And
Oyelowo was waiting on the wing.
sorry.
David Oyelowo was waiting on the wing.
Yeah, and if there's any character that can be recast, it is Kang.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's plenty of choices, plenty of options.
So I think we're safe in
Multiverse,
regards
man.
to kinking Kang in the multiverses aspect. It'll provide an element of intrigue and also WTF. What are you going to do now because of the mid-credit scene of Quantumania? But that's a mid-credit scene that can easily be removed on future Blu-rays, or other words, it doesn't fucking matter, my guy. It's a multiverse. There are so many versions of Kang out there. It could just be that's 3,000 of that version of Kang. Here's another 3,000 versions of this Kang.
Here's 3 billion of the David Oyelowo version. Or hell,
Exactly.
the version that's for some reason looks like Tony Stark and it's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Or Chris Evans, or fuck, give me Tom Holland as Kang.
Whoever. Yeah, give me Tobey Maguire, give me Willem Dafoe as,
Give me
whoever.
Tobey Maguire. Now that you said it, give me Tobey Maguire as Kang. That would be hilarious.
He shows up and he tells Avengers, I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye. All right, everyone. That is it for episode 70 of This Week in Geek. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, Zach will be back around and he'll tell us all about how migration absolutely sucked. Thank you so much for watching this very long episode. Thank you both, gentlemen, for joining me. Stay tuned for the last few reviews of the year. I still got 3 reviews left for movies I've already seen. Got Aquaman on Wednesday. Got Rebel Moon on Friday when it drops on Netflix, which I'm very excited for. So until then, love each other and love the movies, my friends. Bye-bye.